¿Qué pues, pinche gringo mamón? Si tengo mi green card.
Thanks for your collaboration. And remember, don't come back again.
Y el gringo nos quiere cobrar el muro.
¡Dile que no, pinche gringo racista!
Pues no te pagaremos nada.
Wait a minute, please.
Somos gente honrada y...
Hello, welcome to, almost said the wrong name. Welcome to Monday Night Bloodbath, episode number 35. And screw you, Cal. You will not be calling this show Latent Destiny. I will not let you get away with that because you think you're predicting the future. This will not happen. That is going too far. So, you know how things go with my shows. Everyone just kind of shows up when they get here. Neo is just ending his Monday night Metrovania that he does on Mondays. Shock, he lives in California and he's got like traffic and shit that he's got to deal with. Although it is kind of late. So they'll be here eventually. We've got plenty to talk about. We've got Joe Biden excusing his pardoning his son for crimes that he committed, for any crime that he's committed in the last 10 years. That's not weird. That's not weird at all. We've got a couple picks, a couple new Trump picks. We've got the Kash Patel. Everyone knows about Kash Patel. We're gonna go over some of clips of him from interviews and stuff because Shock said something about there's some reason that he doesn't like him, and so I'm hoping maybe watching these clips might trigger what his concerns were with the pick of Kash Patel. And then we've got another person. I don't know their name, but I see a lot of people talking about this particular person, and it's not good. It's not good at all. Plus, we got a bit of an illegal update, and then this is probably going to be a new weekly thing because I am absolutely 100% obsessed with Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything, but like they're taking notes from Javier Milei. I don't got anything about that. I do have this whole Javier Milei thing from his interview with ALX. That's not tonight, though. That's going to be for something else. But just the idea of reducing government spending and making the government efficient. You know, I never thought there would ever be a day that they'd even talk about that. So that's pretty exciting. And then I've got a weird clip of RFK. I've got a really weird clip of RFK. I mean, it's cool, but it's weird. But let's say hello. So we've got Kel in the chat, and we've got Carl from RNG Gaming Podcast. Apparently, he's got many thoughts on Doge, I'm guessing. And then Kel is claiming I was 1 minute late. He is the gay Stradamus. You know what? It might have been 1 minute late due to the YouTube lag. I hit that button right at 8 o'clock. Well, okay, I can't say at 8 o'clock, but when I looked at the clock, I saw it was 8. I was like, oh shit, go time. And I did click go live on 8 before it went to 8:01. But anyhow, I am not late in Destiny. Now, before we get started on all the big stuff, There is a great clip going around with what's his bucket, the White House correspondent for Fox. The guy with the hair. There's this great clip going around of supposedly people who were hanging out with Trump and Trudeau at Mar-a-Lago. And I guess Trump had a great troll job for Mr. Trudeau. So here we go.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't...
That's interesting, though. We're going to stop right there. I'll back it up some. But he said new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy. But yet all these crazy lefties... my camera's all weird, so I've been moving my monitors up and down. This isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. Yeah, as I was saying, the lefties are like, you guys are just gonna pay for the tariffs, but yet we've got Trudeau and the Mexican Jew both freaking out over the ideas of tariffs being put on Canada and or Mexico. So that's really interesting. I thought the tariffs were only going to hurt the American citizens.
Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor.
I love it. I love it. I don't know if he actually said it. This is a rumor going on. What do you guys think? Do you think Trump said to Trudeau that maybe Canada should become the 51st state of America and he could be the governor of it? Do you really think he said that? That's hilarious. Imagine if you're Trudeau, are you letting the world know that he said that to you? Are you going to confirm that? I don't think you do. Oh, I got people in the back room. What is this?
Oh, two of us.
Hello.
Hello. My link's
Good
always
evening.
the same, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I guess so.
I wanted to see if it was the same thing. Sorry if I'm opposing.
Oh no, you're good. I saw the Diglets, but not Diglets. And I thought maybe Shock had changed his thing up, but no, it's all good. It's all good. What do you got? Neo, did you see this clip by chance?
This Ducey one, yes.
Yes.
I mean, not before now, but I just thought about it a minute ago when you showed it. Yes.
What do you think? Do you think Trump actually said that?
If he did, obviously it's sarcasm. Did he actually say that? I don't think so, but he says some crazy stuff sometimes. So if he actually did, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, I believe he said it.
If you're Trudeau, do you confirm that he said that to you?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think he would because of just how politically weak he is up there in Canada right now.
But do you think he could try and spin that around to try and make Donald Trump look like a dictator or whatever?
I don't think it would work that well. He's already dealing with the Taylor Swift fallout too much. I don't think he wants to be out in public as much.
Okay, besides being at a concert at a Taylor Swift concert while his country was falling apart, is there any other Taylor Swift drama I'm unaware of?
No, just that Taylor Swift concert drama.
Okay.
That one really blackened his eye.
That was a beautiful look for him, wasn't it? He's literally dancing like a little fruitcake at some Taylor Swift concert while, what was it, Quebec was like being torn to pieces.
Yeah, it's just pretty much sums up the West right now.
When was this?
This was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it had to be the week before Thanksgiving.
Super recent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I forget it was a Free Palestine protest that just went to fucking shit. Like they were breaking windows and like the whole thing. It was very Summer of Love reminiscent.
Or to be more Canadian, if the Vancouver Canucks lost the Stanley Cup again.
Wait, so they riot if they lose?
Yeah.
That makes more sense than rioting if you win.
Yes.
I'll give them that.
I think they did it twice,
Makes
actually.
no sense regardless, but it would make more sense for losing than winning.
You know, here in Phoenix, they were boarding up stuff for when the Suns were in the finals back in the 90s. I didn't hear anything about it with the most recent NBA finals run. But like they thought that Phoenix was going to riot, and Phoenix has never really done anything like that. We actually have an MLB championship, and nothing of the sort happened.
Well, you know, the reason why is because you're all elderly transplants.
Not in Tempe.
Yeah, you guys can't ride at Phoenix, right? You got to go to bed at like 7 p.m. to make the earlier bird special.
Phoenix is massive. When I refer to Phoenix, I don't just mean the city. And actually, no, the old people don't live in Phoenix. The old people live out here by me.
I don't see how that counters the point.
Kind of proving it.
Well, I'm not going to say where I'm at.
No,
My
It's a static. I got it.
literally snowbirds that are out of town 9 months out of the year because they
no.
don't
I
live
was
here.
making the joke that no matter where you live, that's where the old people are.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Yes, it is just about that point that no matter where I live, it is the old people place.
Arizona and Florida, the heavens
Oh.
waiting rooms.
Yes. But here it's only 2 or 3 months out of the year.
Where Florida is all year round.
Yes, Florida, they all go there forever.
Did you ever read that like article that came out about like STDs rising in nursing homes?
I think that's been a thing since forever.
Yeah, I just thought it was one of the weirdest things to think about.
Like
Yeah, I've heard that.
when I first heard about it, it was weird, and then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? You're just like counting the days. Fuck it. Like
Literally.
like yeah. like you're already in the place where you know you're just there until it's over. Like, why not? So did you guys see the video RFK put out? What was this? This was yesterday.
I don't think I've seen this one. No.
So it says practicing moves for my confirmation hearing.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
And here's what we've got. I'm gonna kill the music.
That was loud.
How old is he? Like 65?
Like 70 something.
Yeah, I got to give him credit, man.
I'll give him credit, but this whole thing here, really fucking gay. Why does the dude have to be up there while he does this flip?
What does that have to do with the confirmation hearing?
It's just bros being bros. All
Like,
right.
Yeah, he's 70.
I don't have
Oh my
a problem.
God.
He'll be
I
71
don't
next month.
I don't have any problem at all with RFK doing this handlebar flip thingy-majig. But why does homeboy got to be up on top staring down his butthole? Like,
That's the price you pay to hang out with a Kennedy, I hear.
okay. Okay.
Who was that working out with him? Was that what's his name? I just blanked on his name. The
You could
guy
take- Is that something like you can take the Kennedy out of the Democrats, but you can't take the Democrat out of the Kennedy?
No, you can't take the sex parties out of the Kennedy.
Oh, that's what it is. Sex party, Democrat. So I see we have Acid Stormblade who joined us. How you doing, Acid?
Hello.
We also have Cash Kester and then Paul Hadouken with his what's up.
With Paul. Drive safe, buddy.
What's up again, Paul?
He's trying to bring back that Bud Light shit from back in the day.
What?
I do not condone.
Go with Scary Movie, sir.
Wasn't it a commercial for Bud Light or something though?
It was, and then
Yeah.
they made a reference in Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Right. I do remember the Scary Movie reference.
You
I just don't remember the Bud Light commercial. I just know that's where it came from.
Oh, I think it was a Super Bowl commercial, actually.
Yeah.
That one.
It might have.
I'm pretty sure it was a Super Bowl commercial.
Well, okay. You know what? Actually, I remember this because at that point in time in my life, didn't watch sports. And I was living with a bunch of friends, and none of them watched sports. But yet they were all doing the what's up thing. And I'm like, where the hell did you guys get that from? And I had no idea.
I didn't watch
probably like
sports
a year.
either, but I watched the commercials for the Super Bowl because they used to be good.
Used to be is a very key word there.
Yeah. The commercials suck now.
You know what? I wonder if you could track the Super Bowl commercials becoming shit with the like decline of Western society.
Oh, I know exactly the pinpoint time when that happened.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you the exact commercial when they all
What
went
was
to
the
shit and
catalyst?
society started to fall. Do you remember? I think it was an insurance commercial where they had like a little kid dying and constantly in the commercial.
What?
That does not sound familiar.
All right, so it like basically it was like a kid talking about growing up and all that stuff, and then I think it ended with the kid drowning in like a bathtub or something.
Oh my
Oh
god.
That's dark.
Yeah.
For a commercial?
Yeah, it was like an insurance commercial. Like I'm surprised you guys didn't know about it. Everyone was like, "What the
No,
fuck
I
is
don't think
this?"
I've ever seen this.
How long ago was this?
Oh, 2013? I want to say.
okay.
Oh,
Here,
that's more
I'll
recent
look
than
it
I
up.
thought.
I'll look it up. Recent. That was over 10 years now, sir.
No, it's more recent than I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say like 20 plus years ago.
No, we were still doing pretty well 20 plus years ago, culture wise.
9 years ago, from what it looks like.
Okay. That's weird. Why?
I think
So it was like an actual somber, like it wasn't like, I mean, they wouldn't dare do a dark comedy about.
Yeah, so it was a nationwide boy commercial, and it was talking about the number one cause of childhood deaths is preventable accidents.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it was just a matter of needing a parent there while he was taking a bath.
Yeah, it's like it starts off like this boy talking about going on adventures and everything, and then at the end it's like, well, I couldn't do all that because I died.
You know what? So it's fucked, but like, I think bath drownings might be really common, way more common than they should be.
Have either of you played the game What Remains of Edith Finch?
No, but I've
No.
recently seen that. I want to say.
Because there's a
I heard it
part
was
of that
good.
game that it's basically a walking simulator, but you basically relive the lives of a bunch of people in your family that lived in this house. And
Oh yeah, now I remember.
Yeah, there's some really dark stuff that happens, but it's a really good written story.
Yeah, but that's different. You go into that. You're not here watching the Super Bowl
Yeah,
like
it's
half
not- it's not the
plastered.
Point.
You
know,
got to think about your child drowning.
You're not watching How I Met Your Mother or some shit. Then all of a sudden some kids die.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, that's quite the juxtaposition.
That's terrible.
And it's like, and the Eagles score. Now let's go to commercial break. Dad, why'd you have to get drunk and let me drown in the bathtub? Well, thanks for bringing down the mood.
Wait. The kid got drunk and drowned in the bathtub?
Nah,
No, the
Maybe.
dad got drunk.
the
Because
dad was drunk. He just forgot
Oh,
his son was in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that is fucking terrible. That's no. Moving on.
On a lighter note,
Yeah, so we're gonna do the illegal update. We've got some stuff, everyone's getting upset that Donald Trump wants to ship some people out of here, and so we've got the posturing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin Newsom is the latest to enter the fray.
Oh, yay.
Neo, you being a California resident, are you familiar with anything that he's talking about?
Newscum. Yeah, what's he talking? What's the next great idea he's got?
America's governor, folks.
So Gavin Newsom has convened an emergency session of the California legislature to approve a Trump-proof legal defense fund that will cost taxpayers $25 million. Doesn't sound a whole lot for how many they could be harboring.
For what?
Newsom plans to file lawsuits to block every policy President Trump enacts. This does not surprise me in the slightest.
Of
This
course
sounds
he
like
does.
this.
He's a
This
freaking
is not
idiot.
surprising at all, and I very much believe that. We know what happened the last time Donald Trump was president. He vandalized our progress and vandalized our programs. He broke the law.
He broke the law. When
Really?
you make basically every crime legal,
Holy,
where? How is this guy so detached from reality? It is mind-boggling how idiotic this guy is.
You leave Nancy Pelosi's nephew alone.
You know,
He's a good man.
Wait, is he actually her nephew?
By marriage, I think so.
By
Yeah.
marriage, he was. He's not anymore.
Oh, that would be Donald Trump Jr. now, wouldn't it?
Possibly, yeah.
That'd be weird.
Is it Guilfoyle, the ex-wife of Newsom?
I think so. Yeah.
And she's
Sounds
dating
right.
Donald Trump Jr.
I don't know. I don't really keep up on that court intrigue, to be honest with you. I heard about it, but I didn't know if they still were.
I don't keep up on it at all either. But Duke Devil brings it up every time we talk about Newsom.
Yes,
He thinks it's
Kimberly
absolutely
Guilfoyle
hilarious
was
that
married to
Donald Trump
Gavin
Jr.
Newsom from
Yeah.
2001 to 2006.
Yeah, he Duke Devil thinks it's absolutely hilarious that Donald Trump Jr. is banging Newsom's ex-wife. So keep in mind, California is more dangerous than it's ever been. Thefts are historic highs. Homelessness is worse than ever. Yet Newsom thinks Trump is his biggest problem. He has a good George. That's
all fake news.
Right. No, because he hides those behind some numbers.
Because it's not crime if it's made legal.
You're absolutely
That's true.
right.
It's not crime if you don't report it too.
It's not crime if you don't prosecute. Nothing happened.
Just like
special session.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
I was just gonna say how basically they report all the crime, even though it's like done by not white people. They report them as white people.
Why is he at a car dealership?
I just know that San Francisco is MAGA country because they beat up all the Asians.
Right. Yes. Hey, Dom H. We're just talking about your sister state.
Islander fan, huh?
Oh, he's a New Yorkan.
Oh, okay.
He's given up on the Giants.
I don't blame him.
No.
As it relates to the special session, that's a special session to focus on litigation, preparation. As it relates to the reality, it's not a theoretical exercise.
Actually, it's literally a theoretical exercise because you don't know what Trump's going to do. You're making up a bunch of bullshit to kind of get around him and force him to not be able to do what he would like to do to help the country get better.
This guy's gonna run for president, and that's the sad part about it.
Let's hold on to that thought for a moment.
All right, I shall.
know what happened the last time Donald Trump was president. He vandalized our progress. He vandalized our programs. He broke the law.
Hey, teacher, can you pause it?
Adjudicated that.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's what they always do. They always just say shit. And they never have anything to back it up. They just say things.
I wish it were just like there was just a child in the audience that goes like, but why?
Yeah.
It's like just that, like that's all we need. It's just one reporter that just goes, but why? You know?
Or like
Yeah.
like source please.
Yeah. Continue, sorry.
Well, I don't know why no one just says but why.
Yeah, exactly.
And Dom, everyone says you've given up on the Giants because you no longer have the Giants logo for your avatar. That's why.
Listen,
Nothing personal. We don't think anything less of you. We just get why you would move on.
He was upset. All right, they cut Daniel Jones, and he was like, "Damn it!" And he had to throw out his jersey, and he reenacted that scene from Pet Detective where he cried in the shower in a fetal position. And he's like, "Well, at least I still got the Islanders."
At least it was over the Giants and not kissing a dude.
God, that scene is so great.
But yeah, this guy saying that it's Trump that broke the law and he's the one doing the vandalizing. I literally don't think he could get his head any farther up his own butt.
What is he vandalizing? Like, it's just like you gotta sit
All
down
the
and break up that
criminals in our
statement.
state that are vandalizing everything.
Yeah.
Breaking all the laws.
He this sentence right here that's on the screen. It's how he broke the law. He didn't break the law in California. He didn't break any California laws. He's going off of all of these fucking court cases that motherfucking Stephen A. Smith himself has been nothing but political persecution.
Yep.
And now he's going off of the whole, well, he's a convicted criminal. No, he's not.
Technically, it's not by law.
Not convicted, because even by New York state law, you are not convicted until you have been sentenced.
There you go.
And the funniest thing about all of that is they still think, even after the guy has Merchant has indefinitely suspended the case, they still think he's going to serve his presidential term in a New York jail. The weirdos.
Blue Anon is crazy. All right, we've already established this.
Oh, I need to do a deep Blue Anon deep dive, because that would be way more fun than QAnon.
Oh, it definitely would. These are the people who go like, "We're at least we're not QAnon."
Yeah, yeah. At least QAnon like has a purpose.
At least QAnon has funny people like the Buffalo Shaman.
Yes, but also like the QAnon theories are like to end. Like they think like Donald Trump is going to like end all the corruption, and like all these people are going to be beheaded, and like at least like that's like interesting. The Blue Anon people are just like, we just want more of the establishment, man.
We just want daddy government to choke us. Is that so wrong?
It's not an assertion. He did certain things that were unwound at the agency level that attacked.
Huh?
Like what?
Like what?
Like when he said, "Hey, clean out your forest, otherwise fire will go insane," and you laughed at him, and then your state burned down.
Did he think when Scott Presler went there to go clean up one of his cities that like Trump told him to go do that? Is that why he's upset? Like,
you know what upsets me more is that how he's like standing off center from the mic and not speaking into it.
Well, I want to know why he's at a fucking car dealership.
I don't know either.
Why
It's just
was Biden
it's just
doing a press
annoying me,
conference
man.
from the Amazon?
I mean, I would. Wouldn't you, Static?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, but
I mean,
like,
Exactly.
why?
Him being so what? So do you guys? So okay, we haven't gotten to this, but do you guys know where Biden is right now?
No idea.
He's going to Africa to
He
talk
is-
to the
What
president
state
of
he's
Angola.
in, physically or mentally?
Well, physically, even though that's a weird question in itself as well.
He's going to Angola, right?
Yeah, he pardoned his son, and he's off to Africa the next day.
That's what we call a man on a mission.
Yes, but we'll get to that point. We'll get to that later.
This state, and so we are preparing for that. And that was the whole point. Is the whole point of the special session. We're not gonna
Talking to Mike, asshole.
and we want to be prepared as early as January 20th, and that's why the special session is important. We also have a brand new legislature coming in, a lot of new people.
There you go.
And this will be an opportunity to engage and convene, talk about the previous 122 lawsuits. Again, we reacted to the assault. It wasn't a proactive litigation.
What assault?
Dude, that is like the perfect like photo of him right there. It just captures his incredibly demonic look.
This is you just paused the movie American Psycho, right?
Yeah.
We're not watching the press conference.
Just
We're watching
like, look at that
movie right now.
face, man.
Well, she looks like she's ready to fuck. Like
They both look like they are.
This one looks like he might have farted.
Strategy. It was a reactive strategy. I hope there's not one lawsuit with Trump administration. As I said, open hand, not a closed.
Doing the Trump hands. Have you
No
noticed that?
governor in California worked more closely. No governor in the country, I would argue, Democrat, worked more closely, Democratic governor, with Donald Trump than I did during COVID. Same time, he
I
took $1
highly
billion.
doubt that.
Well, I mean, let's take a look at the famous Democratic governors from the COVID times.
Oh, yes.
Cuomo
They
probably
rejected
would be in
his
jail.
offers to support them, and by not interacting with them at all, I worked with him most closely just by not interacting with him at all. Is that what the point he's making?
You know what? I think he was at the White House a few times. I don't know. I know he was at the White House at least a couple of times. I don't know what he thinks working with him means.
I don't know either.
And it's not like we hear a whole lot about like what the president does with governors, really. You know what I'm saying?
I know that like Trump was bragging about having meetings constantly with the governors. I remember these press updates. Not 100%, but I remember them, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, they were watching the Trump administration was entertaining.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Plus,
And
you had to watch what the administration was actually saying and doing in order to get what was actually fucking happening.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't rely on anyone to report on anything.
Man, all the Democratic governors sucked during COVID when you really think about it.
They all sucked. Name one good governor, and everyone comes out. DeSantis and Kristi Noem.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Kristi Noem is the least guilty because her state representatives prevented her from doing anything.
Yeah.
They still did. I do believe they technically did the 2 weeks.
I think everyone did the 2 weeks though.
DeSantis did the month, and that's why he gets credit. But there was I don't know how much of the because like in Arizona, okay, we did the 2 weeks.
Well, you also had a Republican at the time, right?
I did, but he was a rhino.
Yeah.
Major he was just a major pushover and a bitch. He too, his name was Ducey as well, but spelled differently.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Anyhow, like all the governors pretty much failed because they all locked down for however long. And then the mask thing, at least in Arizona, the mask thing stuck around forever. And that's because all the businesses upheld it. You know what? There was a law. There was what they tried to call a law, but really it was, I forget what they call it. It had no legal authority at all. But they were trying to say that everyone had to wear a mask until like the end of May or something like that.
Yeah.
I did not. And the places that kicked me out, I just no longer give them my money.
You know which governor I think actually people forget about? Whoever was the governor of Indiana at the time.
Oh, I don't know what their name was.
I can't remember. But I just remember that Indiana was like one of the first states to have people at sporting events, and everyone was losing their minds about it.
Let's see.
Kel here has a point. As a federal government employee, he never got 2 weeks off.
I never got 2 weeks off.
Neither did I, but I was technically unemployed.
How about you, Neo? Did you get 2 weeks off?
For COVID?
Yes.
No, I did not get any time off, but they did send us to start working from home at the time.
My wife got unemployed.
I got unemployed in the middle of December 2019. And I was watching the COVID shit in China at the time, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. And I kept getting job offers, but they never sent like the email. You know, they're like, yeah, we're going to move forward. And then they would just ghost my ass. And that had never happened before in my life. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So I just went back to Papa John's. I was like, fuck it. I'll just go deliver pizzas during COVID.
Yeah, like Paul brings up a point where he saw Limp Bizkit for free in Indiana in 2020. Like I remember I went to a Colts game in 2021, and I'm from Illinois, so everything was still locked down and everything. But when I got to Indianapolis, I was like, oh wow, this feels like it's normal,
Wait, what's this? Real life?
Yeah.
What
is it Eric Holcomb that you were thinking of?
Maybe. I couldn't tell you the governor of Indiana because he's
he's been the governor of Indiana since 2017. Prior to that was Mike Pence.
All right, so then he got reelected then. So yeah, Holcomb I think did good in Indiana. Like I said, I could go to any place in Indianapolis, and that cities are usually blue, and Indianapolis is no exception. But like, no one gave a shit, Like I saw nobody wearing masks, even if like we went to like liberal restaurants, nobody was wearing a mask.
Indianapolis located in, does that actually go blue though?
I don't know. I know Wayne
You know
County.
what? I take that back. I'm sure it does because there was only like 2 completely red states. One of them was Oklahoma, and I forget the other one.
West Virginia.
Possibly.
I think it had to be West Virginia.
So that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what else this Chud's got to say.
Your high-speed rail money. Same time, he tried to take.
Wait. He's going to talk about the high-speed rail.
That's oh my goodness.
Oh my God, this guy should be in jail.
Trump than I did during COVID. Same time, he took $1 billion of your high-speed rail money. Same time, he tried to take your crime grants. At the same time, he tried to vandalize most of the progress of the last half century as we were getting along.
How?
So,
What do you mean?
How did he?
What does
take
that
your
mean?
money?
Accuse your opponent of what you are currently doing.
Yeah, how is the California budget there, Neo? I heard it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's as everyone knows, like crime is ridiculous. Homeless is out of control. Yeah, lots of crime is basically legal. So he's rich coming from this guy. So full of crap.
Well, and you know what the lefties love to do is they're all like, well, you know what, the GDP from all the blue states covers all the red states. All you have is tourism. All you have is tourism.
Well,
and you know what? That's on its way out the window.
Well, no, you counterpointed too. It's like, then how come your cities are billions of dollars in debt and need federal bailouts? You know?
Yes, there's exactly that as well. But they refuse to acknowledge that. But
they do.
They don't fucking produce anything.
Let's talk about Oakland, shall we? How's Oakland doing?
Yeah. God, the more I hear this guy talk, the more I freaking seethe with hatred towards him. The one and only thing that's good that's come from Newsom being governor is Brent Pella does a great. He's a YouTuber who basically makes fun of him, and he does a great job making fun of Newsom.
Okay.
I definitely recommend go check out Brent Pella's Newsom parody videos. They're hilarious. But yeah, everything else this guy touches is freaking poison.
Thanks.
What the hell?
Thanks, Steve. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Now go fuck yourself.
What's up, Steve?
So again, no one's naive. I've been there. We have the receipts. We know exactly what he intends to do. He's been very honest about that. And there's nothing to suggest the last 2 weeks that he's not even more hell-bent on doing it. Look at the folks, one less today, that he's lining up to run these agencies. And that's why it's very important we're doing the work we're doing today, putting our head down, not focusing on Trump, focusing on you, focusing on communities like this.
Focus on the people.
At the same time,
entire...
we want to protect our state and protect our values. Billions and billions of dollars of your money in the Central Valley at stake if we roll over and we play naive and nice.
Show me anything that you've done with any of our money that has been worthwhile and has helped the people of our state. One thing.
So he was probably pointing to a specific person when he said billions and billions of your dollars. It's probably somebody he knows that he's giving deals to with government contracts. And he's like, billions and billions of your money, because I'm just going to pay you when we need this whatever fucking done, when we need to tear up this freeway for the 45th time in the last 6 weeks.
Did you see the costs that go into housing a lot of these illegals in a lot of these cities?
That's funny because I've got that coming up next.
Awesome. Well, this is what we call segue.
At least I think that's what this is. Let me just double check. Oh, this is even better. Like, yes, this is great. So, the city of New York pays $220 million to rent the entire Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan to house illegal immigrants. The hotel is owned by the government of Pakistan. What? Why?
A hotel here is owned by the government of another country?
That doesn't shock me, but I didn't know that Pakistan would own it.
You know what was one of the first things that I heard of about things that we're doing with Pakistan? It was with that first amazing bill that sent out all those checks in 2020. And in that bill, we also sent Pakistan something to the tune of like $17 million for gender studies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pakistan doesn't give a shit about gender studies.
That's stuff like that's why we need Doge.
Yes. And the deal was part of 1.1 billion IMF bailout package to help Pakistan avoid defaulting on their international debt.
IMF
they
is a
owe
real
money
thing?
on this building, and we're paying them for the money that they probably owe us.
I didn't realize
Think that
IMF
makes
is a
sense.
real organization.
Prior to the sweetheart deal, the hotel had been closed since 2020, having long struggled with occupancy and in dire need of renovation. Okay, so at least we're putting them up in a shithole, right? The lease agreement is expected to generate revenue to the tune of around $220 million for the Pakistan government.
Why?
I don't know.
Not even our tax dollars when we're like doing this stuff go to us. It's just messed up, man. Ugh. It's like we can't even just like pay an American hotel owner just to have something go our way. It's like, nah. $220 million for a city
money
that's in
must
debt.
Go to everyone but our own citizens.
It's that meme. It's like my tax dollars, and surprisingly also my tax dollars, and it's just two missiles flying at each other.
Oh yeah.
So this was brought to my attention because Vivek tweeted this out. A taxpayer-funded hotel for illegal migrants is owned by the Pakistani government, which means New York City taxpayers are effectively paying a foreign government to house illegals in our own country. Make it make sense.
That is insane.
And it's the Roosevelt Hotel too. It's a historic hotel. I didn't even know it was owned by Pakistan.
Yeah, this should be like shouldn't this be like a hallmark of some sort?
Yeah.
Why do other countries' governments own buildings? Like if an individual, billion or whatever, sure, but buildings owned by other countries' governments, unless it's like in the embassy, why does that exist?
I don't know. Why does China own farmland in America?
Exactly. Another thing that shouldn't happen.
Nothing makes sense. You know who is gets it the worst for the Chinese government? Hawaii.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
What are they doing there?
One of the big issues that you hear from locals is obviously housing prices are insane on Hawaii. And on top of that too, when you're like in like a major city like Honolulu, it's basically just people that work at other governments like from Asia that just buy up a large amounts of apartments and just control them.
Okay. I was just say they have foreign landlords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So Cash Kester says, here you go. There are two genders. Study over. To which my brother replies, if there is two genders, what is Dermy?
He's pansexual.
It's Pratt.
That's a sexuality, not a gender.
It depends on who you talk to.
God, I'm not going to bother.
He's not demisexual.
He's demi half asexuality.
It's a dermisexual, not demisexual.
Dermy ace.
So Trump has appointed a few new people this week. Oh, a couple. We've got a couple we're going to talk about. I was hoping Shock would show up for this one, but
yeah, where has he been?
I don't know. He's busy.
He's fighting the Groypers right now.
He's been doing a lot of that. So I forget what position Trump's nominee for head of DEA should be. This is Thomas Massey saying, I'm going to call him like I see him. Trump's nominee for head of DEA should be disqualified for ordering the arrest of a pastor who defied COVID lockdowns.
I remember that one. Yeah, I saw this tweet.
So here's a little clip with him. I guess is something Viva Fry tweeted out here. Is it Fry or Frey? I don't know.
I've heard usually pronounced Fry, but I don't know for certain.
I think he calls himself Fry.
Oh, this and Kel has the answer. Dermy is a furry. We've been over this. This is true. That is a fact.
In the Bay Area, we've lost law enforcement members because of COVID, something that Sheriff Chronister is very aware of.
I put out a policy a few weeks ago
This is the guy. He put out a policy a few weeks ago.
that if you're unvaccinated and you have to quarantine or you get ill, you have to use your own accruals. If you're vaccinated and for some reason you fall ill, the sheriff's office is going to cover your time off.
What a cocksucker. This is the guy he's putting in. This is the guy Trump is wanting to put in head of the DEA.
This has to be for our 4,000 employees to keep them healthy, but absolutely the public. We have daily interactions with the
Oh, he's a fucking tool. He's a tool. Didn't bother doing any research on anything. Just forced experimental medicine on all of your fucking employees.
Yeah. I want to know what his recent comments are, though. Like, did he ever admit that he was wrong, or has he repented, or he's like, I just got scared and trusted the science?
Give me a moment here.
Because that's something that, because I know a lot of people that like really fell hook, line, sinker for this COVID stuff, and then we're like, the panic and everything got to me.
Oh, what's this fucker's name? God damn it. Of course not.
Who are you trying to remember?
The guy's name. Chad Chronister.
I have no idea who that is.
He should just be disqualified because his name is Chad.
Just looking to see if he's had anything to say. He does have a Twitter. It's an honor of a lifetime to be nominated to serve as Administrator of Drug Enforcement Administration. I am deeply humbled by this opportunity to serve our nation. Wishing you and your family a happy and blessed Thanksgiving. Reckless driver arrested after fleeing from traffic stop. Missing kayaker rescued. This successful rescue demonstrates the importance of teamwork. Blah, blah, blah.
Can't you just word search COVID on his Twitter?
Yeah, but nothing within the past 5 days. April 13th, 2020. Wait, no, that's the top one. Let's see, latest. The last time we had a tweet that mentioned COVID was October 8th, 2020. An exciting day. Our vocational training center has reopened after COVID-19 precautions canceled classes. So he's talking about school in his prisons. Dealing with COVID-19 can have an impact on individual mental health. If you find yourself struggling, help is available. Call Crisis Center. Florida has a crisis center hotline. Oh.
He's from Florida?
211. I believe so.
Oh, my goodness. They arrested a priest in Florida, huh?
Crisis Center, Tampa Bay. Yeah, he arrested a pastor in Florida.
Wow, I thought this was a blue state that he was from.
No, yeah, everything's about Florida. He was Hillsborough sheriff.
That's wild.
Nothing in regards to changing his mind. That's kind of why I was looking at like just tweets from people, seeing if maybe anyone was defending him. I am from Tampa Bay, Florida. I have followed Chad Chronister's career, and people are asking why he is a bad pick to be head of DEA. Conservatives here do not support Chronister. Chronister is a woke and weak Democrat plant and will backstab President Trump. He cannot be trusted. Here are some of the reasons. His office promotes transgendering teens by participating in the Tampa Pride event and created a liaisons. I don't think just by participating you're promoting transgender teens.
Not a good sign, though.
No.
I disagree. I do think that's promoting it.
you can be in a parade and not know that they're talking about putting transing kids.
Hey, I gotta look more into that context. So, were they in a parade that sponsored it, or were they actively encouraging it?
Well, let's see. This is just an announcement from the sheriff's office about the sheriff's office marks Tampa Pride with LGBTQ liaison announcement. What's this Facebook link? This probably isn't going to work for me because I don't Facebook. Oh, there's a video. All right, let's watch this.
All right, cool.
This is from the sheriff's office Facebook account. Make sure I got the volume on.
We're fortunate to live in a community with so much diversity. With our LGBTQ liaisons, we learn and grow from one another.
Here at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, we want to model the community that we...
Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me?
This is not satire, right? This is legit.
This is, well, okay, think about it. This is like public access TV. Remember those days?
Oh my goodness, this is great.
Why does it mute anytime I pause it?
We are all the same, and we all have the same rights.
Oh, look at this lurch-looking motherfucker.
Same freedoms and protections, and there's no reason to be fearful of law enforcement.
The LGBTQ Liaison Program wants to foster an environment of acceptance, both externally and...
You know what this is?
So cringe.
This is gay.
Let me channel my inner Ken.
Ever since I was a kid,
Yay!
I was not in the right body. I identified with the boys and never really with the girls, and didn't really understand what that was until I
Oh, you're a
got older.
tomboy.
What
learned
the
that being
hell is
transgender
even
was-
that?
To my knowledge, there hasn't been
That's a woman
somebody
who's
that is
confused.
openly transgender in the sheriff's office, and I just felt like it needed to happen.
How come this woman looks like
here
the
at
dude from
HCSO,
Peaky
we wanna
Blinders?
help be a part of the change and the perception and the treatment of the LGBT community.
We can all live together, and we can all, do great things in this community. And the only way to make that happen is to make sure everybody knows that we're safe. We're okay to come and talk to. We're okay to reach out to.
Florida?
I love that I get to be myself.
Florida.
and how accepting everyone has
Yep,
been.
this is
and
Florida. Hillsborough
I haven't
County.
experienced anything negative
Bro,
at all.
that's like in
And I know that I have the support.
This thing is not okay.
Leave Thomas Shelby alone, all right? He's a crime lord for a reason.
It's
This
not
is
okay.
not okay.
Like, there is something going on here. Why did Facebook?
Together, we all make Hillsborough County the diverse and welcoming
be that
place
pride
it is
parade.
today. This program will be a two-way street between law enforcement and the LGBTQ community we serve. We look forward to growing the trust and respect between our two communities.
So this guy,
This
this
is
is Chad Chronister, and he is
Pause it. I had the
picked
perfect
to
picture,
lead
too.
the DEA.
Why?
by whom?
Donald Trump.
No.
Well, he's the
I
one
thought he learned from last time on who he
He's the
has
one
around him
who-
to advise him for stuff.
truthed out the fucking announcement.
Oh God, what?
Yeah, this is legit.
Oh my goodness! I thought he knew to make. Where is he getting this intel from?
Who whispered in his ear on this guy?
Yeah,
I don't know. But since he's from Florida, oh, what is that woman's name? So I was watching Timcast before this. They had on
I'm
his
sorry.
fucking- Huh?
I said I'm sorry.
sorry, you're watching Tim.
Well,
Cass.
they had what's his face on. The former congressman who's in a wheelchair.
Hawthorne?
Yeah.
Madison
Yeah.
Coughlin.
Had him on, and one of his buddies.
That's a him.
Yeah. and-
Madison.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a unisex name.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's a girl name.
So but his buddy is actually was kind of like his like assistant when he was in DC and stuff, but he's spent a lot of time down in Florida. And Yeah, that's who. So like he was talking about all the drama going on in the Florida stuff with Trump versus DeSantis, and now there's that Senate seat that's open, and how like this Susie Wild woman, who is one of the persons that Susie Wild was one of the people that Trump thanked in his kind of like acceptance speech that he did on election night, and he called her up to speak to the podium, but she walked away. She is the one who got like, according to this dude, she's the one who got DeSantis elected during his first run, and DeSantis like destroyed her. Like he like made it so that she couldn't get a job anywhere. By 2021 or whatever, she joins back up with Trump a few months later, and so she's been out like, so I'm thinking she's got Trump's ear and she knows these people because she's deeply entrenched in all the Florida stuff.
Wasn't she just promoted to a high position for White House?
Yes, chief of staff.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was, but yeah, chief of staff.
Sorry, I was clearing out. So yeah,
her father was a college football coach, right?
Who? What?
I said her father was a college football coach too, if I recall.
Hell if I don't know. She's old. So this person goes on to say about he arrested the local pastor. The pastor spent $100,000 in upgrades in his church's air and filtration system, making his church safe for those who wish to attend services. Wow. So he even the pastor went above and beyond to try and do extra things to protect his congregation. And this guy's like, I don't care. I'm going to arrest you, even though Florida wasn't closed. So they say. Big Democrat donor, really. He gave money for Democrats, Barack Obama, Mayor John Castor, Congresswoman Kathy Castor, Congressman Charlie Crist, and the DNC.
Charlie Crist, the former rhino.
He was weak during BLM riots, having his deputies stand down as rioters destroyed property. He supports red flag gun confiscation and uses the policy many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's got to go.
He's got a bunch of red flags on it. So Charlie Crist, Neo, was the former Republican governor of Florida. And then he switched to be a Democrat and ran against DeSantis last time.
Oh, okay. It was like former rhinos. Does that mean he's not just in name only now? But no, he's just switched. He became an actual Democrat.
Yeah. Also, may he rot in hell too, because he made the opioid crisis worse in Florida. So he's a piece of trash anyway.
Good.
Oh, is he no longer alive?
No, he still is.
Oh, just when he does.
But when he joins John McCain in hell, then yeah, it'll be a good day.
So yeah, that is a major fucking L for Trump in my book. And you know what? I bet he's one of the people that will have the least problems getting through the Senate and being approved.
That's so baffling because one of the big issues he had last term was the people he had around him advising him, and now he's making a pick like this.
So first knee-jerk thought is, well, he could just fire him, right? But now I've discovered that it takes months and up to a year to get these people approved for these positions. So
maybe
he has to
shorter after we have the Department of Government Efficiency take a whack at it.
Well, but they can't do anything about the Senate and their fucking dragging of their feet.
Yeah.
And the Senate is good at that when there's something out there that they don't want to do. Which I don't hate. I don't hate that either.
I mean, Thune has also promoted Susan Collins, Murkowski, and Turtleman himself to high Senate positions as well.
Why would he have I thought Turtleman was out.
No, I think he's the head of Senate rules.
But I thought he only had the rest of this term and it was done.
Yeah, but he's still in charge for now, and you're going to get the most obstruction of Trump's agenda in the first 2 years.
Well, would they even start approving things before Trump's in office, though?
I mean, they're trying to start World War III without Trump being in office.
Right,
so.
right. That's a little different.
Little.
Well,
Still giving Ukraine money.
Who's this turtle man?
Mitch McConnell.
Oh, okay.
You never heard Yertle the Turtle?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell's nickname is the Turtle because he looks like a turtle.
I totally see it now.
He does a better job than Dana Carvey.
Guys.
I mean, I don't really know. This one is weird, but I don't know. Apparently, this guy doesn't really like show up too much. Like 2020 was going to be 5 years ago soon, you know. Yeah. I don't know how much has changed, and I don't know everything about this guy.
Well, he put out that gay ass video. Like that was him. That was all it.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like people also put out these gay ass videos all the time because they have to, and either because it's like they believe in, you know, the cause, but they don't like believe in the other stuff.
I put out gay ass videos, but I don't mean to put out gay ass videos. You know what I'm saying? He meant to put out a gay ass video.
Yeah. But, you know, government employees are cringe. So
Also, like, you know, him being head of the DEA, so that's drugs, right? Like, drugs and working with the ATF with weapons and shit like that. So, does he have a lot of room to affect things, make other areas worse? Probably not. He better be willing to work the border. You know?
No, they got a different guy that works the border for that.
Well,
one, right?
but if someone shows up at the border with a bunch of drugs, the DEA gets involved.
Right.
Wouldn't that be correct?
I mean, yeah. There are probably also many other government agencies.
Right. But I would, okay, maybe if it's just a massive amount of drugs. No one's going to come down there for even just a kilo. They'll come down there for 100 kilos.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, that's that guy. That's a major loss. But the appointee for FBI Director Kash Patel seems to be a bit more of a win. He's been around the podcast circuit forever. So we got a bunch of clips of him and stuff that he's had to say and how he feels things should be ran. And I figured we watch them. And some of them are from Carl's favorite show,
Wonder Chosen?
Tim Cat.
I think this is what I used to watch, Tim Pool.
Wow. This is old because Labonte is like he's been bulking since whenever this happened.
It ties into the earlier conversation. I didn't comment on it. The biggest problem I have right now is a two-tier system of justice. And that's the biggest argument we need to advance. Not the QAnon, Shannon, whatever that guy's name is, or certain videos depicting X, Y, and Z, but use it as a vehicle to say, look at how differently you can be treated by the justice system in the United States of America depending on your political orientation. Go back to the Antifa riots of, not last summer, but the summer before that. Two liberal attorneys, white shoe lawyers, firebombed a New York City police car.
Yeah.
And
do you guys remember that? I remember that.
I do remember that, yeah.
Jesus.
I do not.
They threw Molotov cocktails inside police cars in New York. And he'll explain the rest of the story.
Lawyers did.
Yes, these are two lawyers in New York. Yeah.
And we know that they did this.
Yes.
And I'm assuming nothing happened to them.
I'll let him finish the story.
All right.
And burned it to the ground with Molotov cocktails.
And the judge called him a good guy.
Good guy. Federal. So
did you hear that?
The judge called the lawyer a good guy?
Yep.
Wow.
And it wasn't just him, it was his wife as well. And they're both lawyers.
They were charged, obviously, rightfully so. As a federal prosecutor and federal public defender who defended people who did that stuff, that's a 10-year minimum mandatory federal prison sentence. You know what this DOJ did? Waived the charges, allowed the judge to go under the midman, and gave him basically probation. That's a 2-tier system of justice. Mark my word, it's going to happen.
That's Merrick Garland that enabled that to happen.
Good old Merrick Garland.
I've heard that name a lot. Who is Garland?
Head of the DOJ.
Yep.
Okay.
Failed Supreme Court nominee.
He is also guilty. Merrick Garland is guilty of the same crime that sent Steve Bannon to jail for months.
Which was stupid.
What quote unquote crime was that?
So I don't remember what the exact filing. So he was subpoenaed, but it was like a special subpoena. After
wasn't it like obstruction?
Yeah. So it's like after
contempt. Was it contempt?
You know what? It was contempt for not showing up to like this special subpoena, and they even brought it. But the fucking House, who the Republicans were in charge of at the time, could not get it done to bring him into justice. That being Merrick Garland, whereas they had the time to take care of Steve Bannon. So
yeah, it's nonsense, man.
I think so. There's a lot of problems with America right now in regards to how we deal with politics, and a big part of that is both sides thinks that there's a 2-tier justice system, but they don't agree on how it's working.
Yeah, so the liberals are right, and then they should just agree and try to fix this problem, but they don't.
They think that Donald Trump is getting away with everything, and because he's a billionaire, they're not doing these charges and all that stuff. They think that Elon Musk bought him the election because he had a billionaire backing him. Like there's just this weird,
because Trump isn't a billionaire himself.
Well, there's that, and then it's like literally every Forbes Fortune 100 backed Kamala Harris, and her campaign account bragged about it. And it's like, yeah, there's no billionaires involved in that at all.
Yeah, it's insanity. It's the definition of insanity.
And it's just like so, and so they think. It's this projection thing where they think that the right is guilty of what they're guilty of, but like they've lied to themselves enough that they actually believe it. And so there's this weird and it's the same thing with the justice system, how we both feel the same way but in the opposite direction. And until we figure out how to freaking how to work through that, we're fucked.
Well, it's not until like the leftist realizes that they're no longer the freedom fighters, they're the bootlickers. You know what I mean? They need to wake up. It's come on. It's like I can't even listen to Rage Against Machine anymore because it's just like the mask is gone. You know, it's like, yeah, the songs are great. I still like them, but they feel like a toothless snake now. You know, where it's like, I'm not afraid of this. I don't feel inspired by this. I just, I can't say like I'm fighting on behalf of like, the oppressed. When it's like every major institution, all these multi-billionaires and millionaires fund and support and promote these crazy establishment ideas that, the only person that you can look to that seems to be the outlier is Donald Trump because they try to kill him. Like they actually tried to kill him,
Right. Yeah. But that was all staged. Donald Trump staged that.
Yeah. Okay, Destiny.
Actually, no, Destiny thinks the shooter was real. He just wish he hadn't missed, or at least taken more lives.
Can we give a shout out to Destiny and Nick Fuentes for bringing the gap of like the parties together in a very wholesome way?
Right. America's healing now.
America's healing. when the white supremacist Mexican and the bisexual former conservative get together for a one-night stand.
Yeah. To make content, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, until we could figure out how to get past that blockage where it's I don't know. I guess the only way is red pilling. And maybe okay. There's another clip of Kash. This one.
All right, let's hear it.
So this is from a different Tim cast, but I really like what he had to say here because I completely agree. I am all about this.
Anyway, the other thing that I put in the book that I recommended the boss to do hits on this. We need a 24/7 declassification office.
Yes.
Rolling papers out 24/7. And not just like
ticker
JFK and not just 9/11. You're talking to the guy that's read the whole 9/11 report and those 7 pages that people talk about. But I believe, as like the guy who is an intel guy who believes wholeheartedly in the classified system of information, I believe that it has been over-abused by these corrupt officials in government to hide the truth and enact more corrupt activities. So what I told the boss...
Exactly. 100%.
So like, I don't care what you call it, truth and reconciliation, whatever, come up with a better name. But every agency and department literally submits all of their documentation, and I believe you could get half out. Half. I still think the other half needs...
It's still a lot. Half of all the classified information out there is a ton of information.
There's a lot of unnecessary classified information out there too.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of retard shit.
Yeah.
Needs to remain.
Bill Clinton had a donut on the 14th of July.
Yeah.
He used taxpayers' money to buy. Well, actually, I guess he legally could do that. I don't know. Some sort of scandal with someone eating out of hooker's ass.
Probably.
Classified. I'll
wasn't just
argue.
a cigar this time, Hillary.
Right. And it was definitely Bill Clinton.
That it does serve a purpose. But like you're seeing in these documents in the Jack Smith case, they're just redacting stuff that they lied about, that they broke the law.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's used to protect themselves.
And it's a public document in federal court, which is a document for the people of the United States. And we can have you run that office. You can come in and just be like, hey, I want all the Saudi documents.
I'll gladly do that. I'd be so happy.
I would be okay with that.
So Luke will be the press secretary for the Libertarian Party.
The declassifying
the
documentary.
viceroy of declassification.
Absolutely, I like that.
There you go.
I'm in. You got. Where do I sign up?
Yeah, but I think that's how you earn the respect. Like you said, Donald Trump started talking about these things. Then we started putting these documents out there. And remember when I ran Russiagate, right? They came after me and said, if you put out the Nunes memo and you put this out that you wrote, our enemies and our allies are going to get murdered. No one died. Anyway.
So maybe through some of this declassification, we could start getting some people, some of the crazies, to see some light and see that maybe things aren't what they think it is. One of my first disappointments with Trump was when he said he was going to release the JFK files and then he didn't.
Yeah.
I was super bummed about. I totally wanted that. That was like, I was actually excited about that. And I wasn't even paying attention to stuff much back because this is like back when he first got elected. But I was like, yeah, JFK fucking unclassified documents. Let's go.
Did he ever have a reason for not following through on that?
I forget. So they everyone who talks about it, and like Kash Patel's even read them, but they say, what's that guy's name? There was someone in Trump's circle that said it was probably a bad idea. And he's still there. A lot of people still like him. What's his name? Fuck. I want to say it starts with a B, and it's not Bannon. Big bald guy. Anyhow, it was agreed upon that the nation just wasn't ready, even though a simple 4 years later, they're looking at doing it again.
And they got Kennedy.
And they have a Kennedy. So, and you know damn well he wants that out there.
Of course.
And they're not just that, but they're also going to release the papers on his father.
Yeah,
they're going to do RFK. They're going to release RFKs, and then of course the Trump stuff. They said that all three of those documents, the documents for all three of those situations, are going to be completely declassified.
Well, they should be. Who's really still alive from that time period that would matter, you know?
Yeah, well, there could be a lot of people still alive from the Trump ones.
I'm talking about from the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, the Kennedy ones. Yeah, I think they're talking about the 9/11 papers, and I think they're talking about. Oh, there was one more big one. I can't remember.
That'd be a big one.
What was that?
I said that'd be a huge one.
That would be gigantic. You can go look up however many out of the papers. Just there's 7 of them that are completely redacted, and then a few of them have a lot of redactions in the pages that you can read. I used to have a copy of that. But no, I think some transparency could help some people wake up. And then this last clip is I've got 2 different tweets. The first one, we're just going to watch the clip. And then the second one, we're going to look at how someone views the clip. I don't know where this particular person has showed up on my timeline. I don't think they're real. I've read some of the stuff they tweet, and I don't think that they're a real person.
Oh, joy.
So here's the clip that I was talking about, and this is what he says he would do if he was put in charge of the FBI.
The biggest problem the FBI has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day 1 and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops.
That's such a simple and brilliant idea.
That's great.
You're cops. Go be cops. Go chase down murderers and drug dealers and violent offenders. What do you need 7,000 people there for? Same thing with DOJ. What are all these people doing here? Looking for their next government promotion, looking for their next fancy government title, looking for their parachute out of government. So while you're bringing in the right people, you also have to shrink government. The biggest problem the
So that all sounds like a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if we need that many cops, but that's all right. So this is the account that I was talking about that I don't think is a real person. This Art Candy. Spaces Ho trying to find common ground. No, she's not. Not at all.
If you're bringing up the tweets, they're not showing up.
Dubbed a liberal pundit by Alternet, whatever that is, smack talker, the country is doomed if we don't communicate. You're absolutely right, but you refuse to have any sort of legitimate conversation. Here's what she had.
We can't see what you're looking at.
Yeah, we can't see what you're looking at.
Son of a bitch. Share this tab. So this one.
Oh, this person.
So she claims trying to find common ground. That's a bold lie. We'll go and look at her account here in a second because she's very obviously not trying to listen to anything that the other side has to say. But this is what she had to say about this exact same clip about him tearing down the FBI building, opening up the deep state, and setting out the cops. Kash Patel, Donald Trump's pick for FBI director, is an absolute moron. Child predators, murderers, and criminals are celebrating right now. Shake my head.
Well, she's not wrong. I mean, Biden's still in power, so yes, they are.
Right. But like with this announcement, they shouldn't be celebrating. With this announcement, they should, because he literally says in this clip that she had to edit and zoom in on him for some reason, where he says he's going after child predators, murderers, and criminals. He's like, I'm going to send them out to go be cops. And she's like, they shouldn't have anything to be worried about. You make no damn sense, woman.
Yeah, but does any political pundit, like actual propagandist, actually make sense? Like, let's just be real here. Have you ever like read something from these people and then just go like, yeah, this doesn't make any damn sense at all?
So this is the person that says she's trying to find common ground. The AP can get bent. Okay, you know what? I'm probably don't disagree with that. Biden's broken promise on pardoning his son Hunter is raising new questions about his legacy. It is.
Yeah.
Donald Trump pardoned his buddies Roger Stone and Mike Flynn. Spare me for the fake outrage about Biden pardoning his son. While you know what, Biden also pardoned his son-in-law's dad or something.
Well, Mike Flynn was actually unjustly in jail.
Yes, Mike Flynn was a criminal prisoner.
Yeah.
And then they were going after Roger Stone for some of the same shit. Like it was all horseshit.
Yeah, it was. Especially with, if you look into Mike Flynn stuff, it was even more, horseshit.
So if you just go through her account, she's not doing anything to try and find any common ground. MAGA trash were celebrating the fact that they thought Ellen DeGeneres' new house flooded in the UK, except it didn't flood. Cope fake Christians. We need some community notes on this post.
Is anybody claiming to be Christian?
So MAGA is given the it's like one of those things, a stereotype. MAGA is just automatically Christian, like how if you're black you just automatically smoke weed.
That's ridiculous. I mean, the smoking weed thing is obviously true, but
oh, you know what? This was weird. I didn't bring.
There are plenty of people who support Trump who are not Christians at all. So that is really dumb.
Did you guys see anything about this? George Clooney fuming he was seduced by Barack Obama into putting the boot into Joe Biden before being blamed for Trump win.
No, I didn't see anything about this.
Like George Clooney's pissed off at Barack Obama. I'm like, who gives a fuck? What does this matter at all? Like, this is the most retarded shit to even matter. Like, yeah.
I mean, if anyone, they should just keep blaming Obama because he's the one that got Trump elected.
Yeah. He certainly helped. That's twice now that Donald Trump has defeated Barack Obama.
Yeah. Obama's legacy is his failure as a president in office and Joe Biden and getting Trump elected. There you go.
Anyone paying attention, Obama's legacy is him bombing kids.
Oh, murdering a U.S. citizen.
Yep.
Bailing out the banks.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Yes. Ben Bernanke.
Could you imagine if that never happened?
Oh, yeah. It'd be a whole new world.
Yeah. It would be very different right now. We probably wouldn't be doing this right now. We all might be living in houses with our whole families. But that's okay. That would have been for the best, I think.
Well, just don't worry, man. Ben Bernanke made sure his buddies got their money, and then they said, I'm out. Thank you.
Yeah. And what's his face is saying that he's not. Who's the guy right now? I can't remember his name. The head of the Fed.
Oh, Powell. Jerome Powell.
He says he's not going anywhere with the Trump coming in. And he's got like 2 more years or something on his deal.
Good. End the Fed. That's my response.
Oh, shit. Dom says, Static, I am less than 7 points away from Gal. If I end up losing by 4 points or so, I will blame you for the loss because you told me to play Stafford over Darnold, and Darnold did better.
Are we talking sports ball?
I said to consider playing Stafford because Stafford was going up against the Saints where Darnold was going up against the Cardinals. That's all I said. Because the Saints is a much easier defense than the Cardinals defense.
Good old Aints.
And all that is an educated guess. It's like gambling.
That's why it's called fantasy football.
This is my first time playing fantasy football, and there's no skill involved at all.
Listen, it's all luck based, man. You can draft the best team that you can, and you could still start 0-5 because that's called luck, you know?
Yeah. Well, fucking Dom, he had the first draft pick and he picked CMC.
Well, that was his fault for drafting CMC.
And that did not work out for him. He probably wouldn't be sitting dead last if it wasn't for that.
I would not have taken CMC with my first pick. I'm sorry. The guy gets hurt too much. He got hurt way too much. He's great when he's healthy, but last year was such a fluke, man.
You shouldn't pick quarterbacks with your first round pick, but choosing Lamar Jackson first is not a bad idea.
Lamar Jackson's been tearing it up this year, man.
He's doing better than he did last year.
I know, and I won with him last year.
I'm about to win with him this year.
Damn right. I think he's like number one in every category or tied with for number one.
He's the highest scoring fantasy point scorer this season.
Yeah, makes sense.
I also have the second and third highest scoring people on my team. Saquon Barkley and Jamar Chase.
Oh man, Jamar Chase. I had him last year too. He was great. Neil's like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I would like to handcuff him with what's his bucket? Oh my God, what's the dude's name from Cincinnati?
Oh, Brown. Or are you talking receiver?
The QB.
Oh, Burrow.
Yeah. Anyways,
poor Joe Burrow.
So let's do Doge updates before we go into the Hunter Biden garbage. And Dom, I'm sorry. If you do lose, it is slightly my fault. It was kind of my idea. I put that bug in your ear. So we got the Doge update. We have Elon Musk retweeting Vivek Ramaswamy, who are the people who have been in charge of Doge. And this is just a small update. Vivek says most government projects should come with a clear expiry date. That's why we set one for Doge on July 4th of 2026. I think that is a great date.
There you go.
That is, what is that? That's like a year and a half. That's almost exactly a year and a half of them doing this. And then Elon Musk says the final step of Doge is to delete itself.
That's great.
I love it. I absolutely love these guys are serious and they're saying the right things, right? Like,
yeah.
If you have someone who's in charge of efficiency, these are the people that sound like they should be the people in charge of efficiency. So
what I like the sentiment, but we're going to have future administrations where we'll probably need Doge again.
You're absolutely 100% correct. Here's the only way we prevent that is if we elect another fellow Doge believer who doesn't come in and reestablish all the bullshit that they cleared out.
Yeah. That's a big if.
That is a huge part of this. Otherwise, it's all pointless. You have to elect someone that's going to keep all of the same executive orders that served this country that Trump created. I'm not saying all of his executive orders are going to be great because I think he might have overstepped on his last one on some things. Don't have any specific examples, but I remember hearing about some that might have had privacy concerns for the American citizens.
I mean, let's just be honest. If you ever found a politician that was 100% in agreement with you, then you're just in a cult at that point, right?
Either that or like they're the Antichrist. Right? I am watching Donald Trump like a hawk when it comes to this Antichrist shit.
Yeah.
Well, the Bible says the Antichrist will bring peace to the Middle East.
Yeah,
that makes him suspect number one in my book.
I don't buy too much stock into that. I don't know. They say that all the time.
I just keep it in the back of my mind. It's like, if this is a thing, it would be him.
I just don't feel it would be Donald Trump, man. I'm sorry.
Well, he's just the closest one to ever achieve peace in the Middle East. That's the only reason why I give him any credit.
A little bit.
The thing that he's missing though is also according to the Bible is that everyone will love him, the Antichrist. That is not the case for Donald Trump. So another thing that's kind of a Doge update that I've got here is a tweet from this guy, Mr. Bernie Sanders.
I've seen this tweet.
Elon Musk is right. The Pentagon, with a budget of $886 billion, just failed its 7th audit in a row. It's lost track of billions. Last year, only 13 senators voted against the military-industrial complex and a defense budget full of waste and fraud. That must change. And then we got Ed Wokeness over here with has health frozen over. No, this is what Bernie Sanders used to be about.
This was yesterday?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Wow.
This is what Bernie Sanders ran on back in 2016 with also free education and free healthcare.
I knew the education healthcare stuff. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, you see, and that's exactly what it is. Scott Pressler here. Populism will win. Populism did win. But it's just a matter of what side. And like, oh, I don't have it, but there is a clip. CNN went out and interviewed Mr. Hassan Piker. And Hassan Piker didn't sound like a total idiot.
Shocking.
I know.
Broken clock.
He said that the left needs to adopt more populist ideas. They asked him, because this last campaign was about let me see if I can just find this real quick. So they went to him and they're like, so this is the podcast presidency, and he's all like, well, we can't exactly just podcast our way. Here we go. I found it. I'll just EFAP this.
Hassan Piker.
This is Hassan Piker.
This is my dog Kaya. I thought you legitimately were gonna work out.
I could do some weights. He's a social.
Yeah, they do the whole. He's the leftist bro guy because we got to bring men back to the left.
It's hurting my stomach just listening to this, but go on.
I know. Just bear with me.
I'm trying.
Video superstar with almost 3 million followers on the video streaming platform Twitch.
They're eating the pets.
So this is that whole masculinity thing people are talking about, huh?
Great clip of him screaming.
Oh yeah, that's a really popular clip.
I hate that so much.
Did you hear what the interviewer said? This is the interviewer guy. He's like, so this is that thing you call masculinity.
My stomach hurts.
And he's part of a growing group of streamers and podcasters reaching young men online, a space Trump tapped into to reach young male voters.
Punch in, then you won't be able to see that he's not doing any weights.
But Hassan is not a Trump supporter.
Can we
He's a
pause this for a
progressive.
second here?
Yeah.
Hassan Piker's audience isn't young men. It's girls.
And
teenagers.
And young
teenage
boys.
girls.
Yes,
I don't believe it's young boys at all. I believe it's all women that just think
the amount of children on Twitch is astronomical. There's no adults hanging out on Twitch, even though we're on Twitch right now. How you doing, Twitch? Go fuck yourself. Anyway, there's like no adults on Twitch. I am purely on Twitch to earn the right of passage with the Twitch ban.
Are you going to hot tub stream anytime soon?
I haven't considered it until just now.
I need a hot tub first.
That's doable. I'd have to move the guitar amp and stuff because I wouldn't want to get that wet, but I could pull it off in here.
You could do it.
There's a lot of space in here.
Gotta lather up. I'll pay you money. You gotta write my name on your chest though.
I'd have to find a different way to place my camera. I got a tripod around here somewhere.
I'm sorry, go.
Bernie and AOC.
He has. Oh my God! Look at
A
this
Trump supporter. He's a progressive, a fan of Bernie and AOC. The Democratic Party even invited him to the DNC in August.
One thing
But he actually couldn't get in for some reason. They kicked him out, I thought.
Because he's Cenk Uygur's nephew.
Yeah, they kicked him out though. Yeah, I remember him bitching about it. Anyhow,
we've been hearing for weeks now is that the left needs a Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I don't think that the Democratic Party can podcast itself out of this issue.
that's smart. He said, I don't think the left can podcast themselves out of this issue. Whereas this is what CNN, this is what a lot of people, what's that dumb bitch that docs libs of TikTok?
Oh crap.
Yeah.
You know, that
I
dumb
know
bro.
I know her name.
The journalist that was recently fired from WAPO, New York Times.
I just saw
83-year-old, what's her face?
Yes. Taylor Lorenz.
Taylor Lorenz.
Taylor
There it is,
Lorenz.
yes.
As soon as you said 83-year-old, I thought of a quartering video.
97-year-old Taylor Lorenz. She's out there writing these articles about how the left needs a Joe Rogan. And a lot of the news media are picking up with that. You know what? You might be right. We don't have anyone doing this. And then Hassan's all like, you know what? That's not going to fix your problem. And he kind of explains.
Joe Rogan, he endorsed Bernie Sanders in 2020. Maybe they should do an autopsy on why he left the party.
Yeah. This is
I hate this photo so much. It's like giving me upset stomach so hard.
I like to work out.
I hate this photo right
A lot
here.
of people
Just
look
hate
at the
all this
optics
stuff.
of that
It's
and
making me
they don't
annoyed.
like it. They think like, oh well, he's a little toxic, isn't he? And they don't really listen to what I have to say because
whatever. The whole toxic thing. I don't buy into any of that.
This is torture.
I'm significantly more progressive than the average Democratic campaign.
Yeah.
Yes, you are, and that's why no one likes you.
It's not like a bragging point to me.
Yeah, he thinks it's a bragging point. Is this a Louis Vuitton gamer chair? Never mind.
It looks like it. I don't think it is, but it
No,
looks
it's
like
not.
Gucci?
That looks like it might be the Razer logo.
It is a razor, but is this Gucci around it too?
Gucci or maybe Dolce & Gabbana.
Yeah.
Nothing screams "I'm a fucking man of the people" than a Gucci gaming chair.
Or nothing screams "I'm a man" like Gucci.
I'm getting very upset by this more than I should. I really hate this.
Welcome to my channel. I kind of have a thing for torturing people.
Yeah. Next time, just put bamboo shoots under my fingernails.
I don't have any of those anymore.
Well, I said next time. You got time.
What'd you take, Carl? Bamboo shoots under the fingernails, or put this on loop and get strapped to a chair and watch it Clockwork Orange style?
I'd rather fucking get my testicles hammered, all right? It sounds more entertaining.
I've heard you say when it comes to stuff that guys like, you seek that stuff out online,
would
whether
he
it's
know about
watching a
that?
stream.
Could you possibly have a gayer conversation with two dudes about what guys like?
Yes.
How would Hassan know what guys like?
I don't know. Ask Destiny.
You're right. We need Destiny here, but Hassan and Destiny currently hate each other. It's beautiful.
And if you get Hassan, Nick Fuentes, and Destiny in a room, it would be like the most insane content you could probably ever make. We should make it happen.
Except Hassan's such a bitch. He won't talk. He won't work with anyone else.
I want him to fight Sam Hyde.
Oh God, that would be fucking brilliant.
That would make my day. If he does that, I'll respect him. I'll actually give him money.
You know what? Yeah, that would be respectable. Because you know what? Looking at Hassan, he should take Sam. But he lacks all the confidence that Sam has. Anyhow.
streamer, whether it's watching guys talking about working out and fitness, you say that the right wing just dominates that space.
You know what's another thing that loses credibility with men?
With men?
Yes. The Apple Watch. I don't know what it is, but I see the Apple Watch and you lose man points in my eyes.
No, I never look at man's hands. I'm going to be honest here.
I like watches.
I could tell. You know, that's not true. There's only one time, and it's when you like, everyone has that one friend who has like the outrageously long and skinny fingers, like they're fucking ET hands, and they're just creepy out when you shake his hand. Everyone's got one of those friends, right?
Well, now you got me wondering if I'm that guy, because no, I don't have one of those friends.
You might be that guy with the ET fingers.
I think my fingers are normal, proportional.
How about you, Neo? Do you have that one friend that's got the ET hands?
I don't think so. But I don't see a lot of other people.
No, that might make sense. There's always one.
I think you might just have short, stubby fingers.
No, I
got long, narrow fingers. Not narrow, they're normal.
So you might be the guy. You might be salad fingers.
What salad fingers? I've heard that before. What was that from? Was that a meme?
That is an old creepy web show from like the early 2000s. It's like what are those creepy pastas before creepy pastas?
All right, let's finish up Carl's torture.
I don't want to.
It's only 23 seconds left.
The right wing just dominates that space.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think that's why I started on Twitch, right? I know for a fact that the video game space is like people who consume this culture, people who are a part of this culture are not all right wing. I wanted to showcase to people that like, no, you can be a progressive person, you can be a leftist and like have fun at the same time.
Man, shut up. You worked for your fucking uncle at TYT.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And he literally doesn't do. He walks away from his streams and just lets shit play. Like, no, he like you were saying, he capitalized on what he knew, what he got from his uncle.
Yeah. You built your audience up because you're a fucking pretty boy from TYT who attracts nothing but like preteens and gays that give you fucking money, and then they followed you forever. You're not interesting or unique, man.
Platforming literal terrorists, like. But he was right. The left is not going to be able to podcast their way out of this.
No, the left podcast themselves into it. What are you talking about? It's not they're going to podcast their way out of it. They're the ones who dominated most of these podcast space for like ever. How many like NIMBYs listen to like NPR funded podcasts or for like How It Works or something like that? There's so many like left leaning podcasts, like Pod Saved America and all that stuff.
You know, I never listened to any of that shit.
I know.
I've listened to a ton of podcasts for like the last 12 years and never listened to any of that crap. As I spent a lot of time on, back when it was first, like podcasts were coming around, I spent a lot of time on the Leo Laporte network. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Nope. It's a bunch of like tech news stuff. And then like a bunch of Linux podcasts, and then eventually moved into like this political cultural area that we all circle around in the internet now.
Yeah, but like most of like the big podcasts, they're not like all like these right wing like bros. It's like a lot of them are just ran by like liberals, you know?
Well, it's just that the biggest podcast is Joe Rogan. And he's automatically far right because he takes horse paste and watches MMA fighting and voted for Joe Biden back in 2020, and you know, all these things that they hate. He's just far right, and so they think they need their own Joe Rogan.
I saw a clip of him after they said that, and he's saying, you know, they say that they need a Joe Rogan of the left. And he's like, they had me.
Yeah.
Well, they had everyone. They had Elon Musk. They had Donald Trump. They had everyone. Like a lot of these people, like Trump is like a New York liberal. He's not really a conservative at all.
He's Bill Clinton reincarnate.
Yeah.
What's funny is they probably could have ran just about anyone else, not Newsom and not Kamala, and Joe probably would have voted for a Democrat this go around. He would have voted for Andrew Yang. He would have voted for Bernie Sanders.
Well, he gave money to,
He
liberal
would have voted,
politicians.
you know
Yeah.
who he would have loved to have voted for?
Who?
Tulsi fucking Gabbard.
I'd vote for Tulsi.
I'd vote for Tulsi if she was vice president. But she's got gun issues. Now, maybe she's changed the tune.
She has. I've actually heard her full on repent about that.
How does she feel about red flag laws?
I don't think she's in favor of them anymore.
Okay.
I'd have to look more into her policies, but
She
all
also
I know
wants-
about her, I'm open
she also,
to the
I think
idea.
she also wants government health care, which is fucking retarded.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will change their tune about that government health care if Doge is able to succeed.
Like I've said it before, I'm all in favor of, government controlled healthcare, but I rather close down all our military bases to get it.
Okay, I can see what you're saying there, but then that still gives them control of it. They
I'd
can't
rather
fucking do anything right. The government has never done anything right.
I agree with you, but if the choices came down to pick your poison, I was like, yeah, I guess something that would probably help a lot more people than the fucking government having military bases around the world.
As long as I can still go see my doctor.
Yeah. I like I said, I think I've laid out before. I would like a system where you could just go schedule appointments to see like a local doctor, just like your family doctor, and just go in for your like checkups, your physicals with no copay, and get labs ran, and then like a second tier system, you would need insurance for like the major stuff,
You see,
But
I don't know if like government health care would allow my doctor to continue.
No, that's what I mean. It's like I said, we don't live in a utopian society,
Right.
It's impossible unless we all live in, Star Trek years where we have replicators and all that stuff. It's probably we're never going to see anything close to that in our lifetimes. Let's just be real.
My doctor was able to give me horse paste during those times because she had a pharmacy that actually had a compoundist on site, and they were able to do that for her. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone was able to get that kind of access. And because she did something like that, the government might be like, oh, well, you like to go around the system. You can't be here.
Yeah, and the media they should be sued for, medical misinformation, medical malpractice, man, like horribly. And they don't. Like, if there was one thing I hate this about the First Amendment, I would just be like going straight, like getting rid of a lot of these anti-slap laws against all these like news outlets. It just needs to end.
Well, they're all deathly afraid of Kash Patel right now because he said that we should arrest some journalists.
You should, because some of them are basically just they're not journalists. Calling them a journalist is like an insult to the idea of like what the supposed like profession should be.
When you are constantly wrong and lying, you should not be able to continue working that job. Any other job, you'd get fired.
Yeah. But you don't get anything. You get awards for lying about Russiagate. You get awards.
I will give a little bit of space to one particular profession in the world of journalism that can get it wrong sometimes. The weatherman.
Yep, the weather.
90% of the time they say it's going to rain in Arizona, they're wrong. But I don't fault them for that. Because it looks like it could rain, and then it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I just despise journalism more and more, especially when you like look into the history of how like journalism has been in America. It's not the profession that they like to pretend it is,
It's not the profession that what?
They pretend it is.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why my mic just really dipped hard, and I'm like right up against. I don't know, something went weird right there.
I think they think it's it's elitism. It's
Well, yeah.
That's all I can figure. Is that they just think that they're on top. They think that they are the source of the truth, and so they allow their biases. It's not that they allow; it's that they need their biases to be correct.
I mean, I've talked about how I've just have disdain for the media, especially with the FDR years when they covered up his disability from the American people, like actively promoted and said that they would not show FDR in a wheelchair or anything like that. Too.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
Going back to like the Civil War, even the founding of this country, the Boston Massacre, and how they amplified that up and everything too. And you can agree with like the outcomes, but it's just also, as Michael Malice would say, is like the media is the enemy of the people for a reason.
Yeah. I don't know why they just think they need to control the people.
Well, why they need to control the people is because you could get a hole into it. It's like go to any news network and just see how many Washington staffers work in there, how many ex-politicians work in there, how many of these outlets are owned by multi-billionaires who spend money on these super PACs and everything else like that. I always just tell people, like, the best way to find out who actually is aware of what's going on and who's just regurgitating the talking point is listen to how they talk about the Koch brothers and Fox News, and then go and ask them, well, what about like WAPO? What about like the Atlanta Post or the LA Times, which are all owned by multi-billionaires as well?
You want to know something interesting? You mentioned the Koch brothers. I haven't heard about the Koch brothers since the Obama years.
I think one of them died. That's why they kind of have been tamped down.
You could be correct, and they could have also become Never Trumpers. The remaining one.
That's what they say, because they say Fox News is kind of like not exactly the most welcoming to Donald Trump.
Well, Fox News is owned by a bunch of leftists now, ever since what's-his-face died.
Yeah, but Paul Ryan's also on the board too, so that's also another thing.
Paul Ryan can go fuck himself.
Yeah, Paul Ryan can definitely go fuck himself. At least Wisconsin got rid of that mistake.
I just got a notification from my fantasy football thing, and it says Dom has updated their team name to Pain. So yeah, fuck the media. You could never hate them enough. We'll go on to the main story of the night. I don't think this will take very long because everyone's been talking about it all day long. If you haven't been paying attention, Joe Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden. So he will no longer have to serve any time was he even found guilty of crimes yet? I think he was found for the tax stuff, but I don't. Oh, you know what? He was actually found guilty for the tax stuff. And where is my document? I have notes on this so I could actually almost sound smart. Where's that tab? Here we go. So Hunter Biden faced sentencing for tax evasion and gun charges. He lied about not being a drug addict on his background check. And so you broke a law. I don't think that should be. I don't think that should count against you.
Yeah.
That's something that now it's not necessarily the same kind of drug, but Obama's all like, yeah, if you've ever been put on SSRIs or whatever, you can't have a gun for however many years or whatever it is, like, or if you've ever been committed, you can't ever have a gun. Yeah, I don't like those laws. I understand where they think they're coming from, but that's a problem. Everyone should have a gun so that you can protect yourself from the person who should be committed that has a gun.
Yeah.
Now back to my other tab. So not only did he pardon him for those, but he also pardoned him starting from January 1st of 2014. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that obviously for suspicious reasons are very obvious.
Why would you go back so far? I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with any of the Ukraine stuff that you guys impeached Donald Trump for. I'm sure it has nothing to do with any of that. The Ukraine stuff, the Ukraine crimes that were pulled off by Hunter Biden, which his father enabled him to do. And we have the weird text messages of 10% for the big guy.
Oh boy.
You don't remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
So I was like, this is like back at the beginning of the Biden administration. They had all those hearings, and they had Hunter's business partner. What do they call it? Testify in front of Congress, and they had all his text messages and everything. And yeah, nothing to see here, people. Nothing to see. So let's look at some people's reactions to this. Here we have world famous Maria Shriver, who, by the way, looks like ass. A father
God, yeah,
for his
I remember her.
son doing what he can do. May we all move forward, and may we all allow others to move forward. Mercy, grace, forgiveness, onwards. Before you say he said he wouldn't do this, people change their minds. People's hearts move them to make new decisions. When people look at the facts, they can change their minds. I wonder what facts she's talking about. And you know what? A father caring for his son. I've had to think about this. One, the crimes that he committed, the crimes that he was convicted on, right? The crimes that the jury said he was guilty of with the tax evasion and the gun purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Such minimal shit. He should have never have had to serve time for either of those. Two, he should definitely appeal the gun thing. I think taxation is theft. I've got a hoodie right here that says that.
Taxes Duke.
I would I pardon my son for these crimes if I was president? And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm never going to be president. So I will never be able to actually answer this because that is so far beyond my reach. Joe Biden should not have done this. Joe Biden should have let the justice system play out. He could have appealed his cases. He needed to appeal the gun thing. I don't know how if he could get away with the tax evasion or whatever. The guy literally had a line item on his taxes for hookers and blow. Okay, maybe not literally, but it says for women in entertainment.
Based, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the dad just needing to pardon his son? What do you think about that take?
How about you? You got something to say first?
Wasn't there something about like when people were pontificating about, the potentiality of this happening? Wasn't everyone saying that Biden said that he wouldn't do that?
He said multiple times, and so did
years.
Yeah, Kareem Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, even said herself, No, he's not going to do that. There's a whole 9-minute breakdown video on Twitter where you can see all the media just going like, stunning and brave, such a great man.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I swear that there were clips around there of everyone saying that he's not going to do it. And then, whoa, shocker, lo and behold, he goes ahead and does it on the way out when he's got nothing to lose.
I mean, that's probably the best time, but yeah.
It's like Joe Biden is just such a great father. having his son being experimented on by the military and dying of a brain tumor they developed from being exposed to toxic chemicals, and showering with his daughter, and then probably beating Hunter senseless so much to the point where he got like a crack addiction. It's just him making up for lost time of being a shitty father.
Yeah. I here's the other thing that I see. Did Joe Biden really pardon his son?
No, he pardoned himself. That's basically what it is.
That's not even what I mean. Does Joe Biden have a clue about what the fuck is actually going on right now?
Oh, are you talking about that picture of Joe Biden signing the pardon
No,
forms?
no. I'm not going any conspiracy theory. We know Biden is gone. He is off the reservation. There is no one home. Now, he might have moments, but I think those moments are few and far between.
Did you see the one where he bypassed the pardons office to do this as well?
So, yep, and that's the first one that he's done of this.
Yeah.
He has the legal right to do that, and this is the first time that has ever happened in his administration, in his time in office as the president. I can't speak to him. Well, he can't pardon anyone as VP anyhow. And then there was something else. The court is saying that they haven't gotten the documents yet, and they're like, you can't do this. Something. I don't know the reasonings. It all just looks like a bunch of bullshit because everyone knew this was going to happen anyways.
Yeah.
Because it was just basic logical sense of how the government operates, how politicians operate. This is just the way it is. Rules for thee, but not for me.
That's just the way it is.
Rumble's telling me that I started streaming. Thank you, Rumble.
I got
All right.
that notification as well.
Couple hours late, but you did it. Nice job.
I think that's just a Rumble thing because I often get notifications that someone's streaming like 2 hours after they go live.
Yep, it's just 2 hours.
I'll get like 17 notifications back in the day, like, oh, you're streaming on Rumble. I don't know. I hate that site. It can burn.
No, I saw Shred showed up in my Metroidvania Monday stream earlier tonight, and he was like, "Yeah, I hate Rumble."
We all hate Rumble.
We were just talking about that recently.
We have so many stories of the weirdness on there that would make Destiny look like a normal man.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, and you know what? Here's another thing I got. So this is from Joey Manarino. Not a big fan of his, but he has something to say to what his little tweet here, because this isn't the first time this has happened. Joey Manarino says, Nostraswame strikes again. Hunter Biden trial is a smokescreen. It's designed to make the prosecution of Trump appear nonpartisan, yet the outcome of the Hunter trial doesn't matter because Joe Biden can and will pardon him. The trial's timing is no coincidence, right after Trump conviction, but set to finish before Joe Biden leaves the White House. So unfortunately, this is a screenshot and not an actual retweet, but he did tweet this out months and months ago.
I mean, he's not wrong.
And he's really good at predicting this shit.
Well, it's also pretty obvious too. You saw with like every time there was like a major Biden scandal, there was like an indictment. We got Trump indicted on something. You know.
And Kel's asking, were any of you surprised by this turn of events?
No.
The only people who were surprised are the liars.
No one.
And the fucking brainwashed.
And even the brainwashed have gotten their update points to say, be a good father, protected his son.
Well, and it's not even that. It's also a lot of them are doing the whole, well, this is what Trump did.
Yeah. It's stupid.
That's what they say.
It's a stupid one. This is what Trump did. I'm like, oh, so you agree that this is okay then? So Trump doing it is totally okay? This is your high IQ move to be like, yeah, Trump's right.
Well, that's like I didn't bring the clip. I just happened to hear it, but Stephen A. Smith talking about how he would have been okay if Joe Biden had said that this was what he was going to do all along.
Yeah.
Like, lay into the whole, this is my son, this is I have to do this, blah blah blah, which I think is absolute horseshit, because the vast majority of people will never be able to find themselves in a position where they could help someone get out of problems like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like 99.9999999% of the world will never be in that position to do that. This shouldn't even be a thing. Like this should change. Maybe I'm crazy, but maybe presidents shouldn't be able to pardon family members.
It's just, I mean, Trump did pardon his what?
His son-in-law's
dad. Yeah.
And I haven't. This was before I was paying attention to things. I haven't looked into it too much, but it seems like that guy might have been up to some nasty shit.
Yeah. I mean, the big one that made the rounds out here was he pardoned Brian Urlacher's brother. Like
the defensive lineman?
Yeah, the famous Chicago Bears Hall of Fame linebacker. His brother went to jail for gambling fraud.
The guy who puked on the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like his brother got involved in online gambling fraud, if I recall correctly.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and he got pardoned by Trump, and we got a very lefty show out here on 670 to score, and they were losing their fucking minds about it.
Was he guilty?
Yeah, of course he was guilty.
Why did he get pardoned?
No. We just asked, I guess. I don't know.
Isn't the whole pardon thing supposed to be like to possibly help prevent like political weaponization of the justice system, and also there's a lot of innocent people that spend time on death row.
Yeah, I don't know. The pardon system just feels like, these people have served enough time. Who cares? Just let them out. They asked.
I might not disagree with that idea as well. If they've already served like 10, 15, 20 years or whatever. I don't know if I would necessarily disagree with pardoning someone like that, especially if it was a nonviolent crime.
I don't know. Didn't Obama pardon 2 terrorists? Like actual terrorists?
That wouldn't surprise me.
I forget which one. I think it was like one was from the Weather Underground, if I recall correctly.
Oh, I forgot her name. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, an eco terrorist. Yep. I forgot her name, but I know who you're talking about. She was a big deal.
Yeah, I remember like it was a huge controversy behind that one. But like I said, people pardon weird people all the time. You're the president of the United States. Obviously, you're going to return some favors to people. Like a pardon is like the least like worrisome thing that I worry about.
Fair enough. I don't like that he's been pardoned so far back, because there is scandals that need to be investigated.
Yeah, that's the part that you just see right away, that this wasn't Joe Biden protecting Hunter. It was Joe Biden protecting the family business.
I think it's more. You know what? I think it's more than just Joe Biden family business. It's more deep-seated corruption that is.
That's the family business. Is deep-seated corruption.
Obama related. I think this goes all sorts of directions.
Of course. That's why it's the family business.
And globally, the Ukrainian laundry shop was open, and everyone had their fucking dry cleaning done there.
Well, because they've been trying to mess with Ukraine for like a long time. This goes back to like the Bush years, even.
Yeah, Ukraine wasn't stable for a long time.
Well, Ukraine was on like the terrorist list for like white supremacy training grounds, and then suddenly it's like they're the bastion of freedom and
Right? Yeah.
Saving the world.
They're a perfect example of democracy and shit.
Yes.
Which the place that it's been holding off its election for how long now?
That banned political parties and everything else like that too. It does feel like everything's kind of winding down for at least the next 4 years. It does feel like everything's about to go that way. But
I
it's
don't know.
just,
Fucking France and the UK are sending soldiers.
I feel like that's just them blustering. I don't honestly believe that.
I guess we don't have to get worried until Germany goes in, right?
Once we start seeing tanks in Poland, then we'll start to know something's up.
Yeah. God, please don't let there ever be tanks in Poland.
No more German tanks in Poland. I repeat, no more German tanks in Poland. You know, it'd be nice if we had like someone like Smoo here who could actually give us a more detailed like German like response.
Yeah. You know, I after Trump got elected, there was like this whole huge anti-socialist movement in Germany that I meant to look into and never got around to it. Like there was this huge uprising in Germany right after Trump won, going against all the socialist things that they're doing there.
There's been a lot of like shift to right-wing populism in Europe. It just hasn't translated because the populists, aren't in areas where they could take a lot of control right now.
France almost is it France? Macron?
France and UK, Germany, obviously Eastern Europe has a few of them. Italy.
France almost went completely right-wing populist, but then Macron did that whole thing where they could have like a second election, and he struck deals with the crazy leftists, the crazy progressives, and they ended up just completely annihilating the right.
Yeah. Well, they're even trying to jail what's her name? Marie Le Pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
what, hate speech?
Yeah, it's just some nonsense. Well, they're locking up Nigel Farage now too in the UK.
That doesn't surprise me. Nigel Farage had a terrible fucking take about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where he said the UK need the Muslims now. And he like went completely opposite of everything he had been saying. It was weird. So it is kind of interesting that they're trying to jail him.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on all over the world. We're in a time frame that is just a massive political flux, and ironically, it's happening around the same time as it did last time 100 years ago. So history doesn't repeat itself, but sure does rhyme, I guess is the best way to say it.
Actually, I think history does repeat itself, and we're living in hell.
Well, we haven't had World War III yet.
No.
Yes.
But actually, you could argue we've been in the middle of World War III for like a year. And the way the warfare has changed.
2021, we've been involved with World War III, if you want to be technical.
Fair.
I mean, it's like what I always tell people. They're like, well, we're not at war with Russia. I'm like, yes, we are. We're just supplying people with money.
Yeah.
Does it feel like the Cold War ever ended? That's a real question I would like to throw out there. It's like, did the Cold War ever really end?
I was really young during the Cold War.
Well, I was born right when the wall fell, pretty much. So
yeah, same here. So I don't really know what it felt like.
Well, hold on. Let's ask our elderly man here. Neo, you were around when the Cold War. What's going on?
I think I'm older than him.
Static's a little bit older than me.
But yeah, I don't remember. Where's Duke? Duke hasn't been in the chat the whole time. That would be.
Got to wake up for the elderly special, apparently.
Yeah, he always has to talk about how he was working at McDonald's while I was learning to tie my shoes.
Back in my day. No, but that's just what this feels like. It just feels like the Cold War never ends. America's just in more proxy wars than ever. And it just feels like Russia took like 20 years off.
Okay.
That's just what it feels like. It doesn't just feel like it, you know.
Duck and cover, biatch.
Well, that's what I'm also saying too. Is like I love pointing this out. It's like, yeah, all these people who are trying to get us into nuclear war, like were like doing duck and cover drills when they were in like middle school and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like Nancy Pelosi can remember what a duck and cover drill is. I bet
she wrote the fucking pamphlet.
Exactly. it's like, why there's. You know what? Even though like Patton Oswalt is like a very crazy leftist, like he did have like one really good joke. He's like, yeah, everyone just feels like they want to be like the last generation, like they want to be like the Road Warrior or Mad Max, and they're wandering around the streets with the Jason mask on, saying "Don't touch the gasoline" or something, Just like. That's what it always feels like with this thing. It feels like the boomers are trying to fuck us over one last time before they go and embrace their eternal cold darkness of death.
Yeah. I there's a part of me that hates the generational thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm technically a millennial, but I don't feel like a millennial because I remember what life was like before the internet.
Yeah, so do I.
And they consider like millennials are the people who were they were raised by the internet, when really that's the Generation Z.
Zoomers.
The Zoomers.
The Zennials and the Zoomers.
But we get what is it? The millennials are the ones that they say are entitled and everything, and it's like, that's not how I feel. I feel like just leave me the fuck alone, and I'm going to leave you the fuck alone.
Oh, we went through like 2 great recessions back to back.
Yeah.
Many wars,
how I get out of high
9/11.
school and everything's just fucked.
Yeah. Our parents struggling to pay for their house payments because of
how I've spent now over half of my life with the place I live.
Speak his name and he shall appear.
Countries.
What did I do?
Holy crap, he's alive.
Hey, Shock.
Hello. Sorry I'm late.
You joined us right as we're about to end.
I know.
I have one more point, but you Shaka Zulus are Gen Zer.
Oh yeah, because I was told like, oh, you were born with an iPad in your hand. It's like, no, I wasn't. Like that didn't come until I was like 14 at least. At least when I was like 8 through 12. Like I didn't have a phone or a computer or anything like that. It's like half and half baked Zoomer, right?
So you're a Zennial? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm Zennial. Like I remember like having to like dial up and like wait for like it felt like hours to like Google a guide on how to beat Zelda Wind Waker.
Oh my god, you poor man. You're a hero.
I know. I was like, I've been playing this game for a year and I don't know where to find the stupid Triforces. Like
You should get a Purple Heart for that.
I should.
I agree. That was the worst part of Wind Waker.
I was in the temple praying to the goddesses. I can't find this stupid thing.
Don't worry, Neo actually had to call the Nintendo Power Helpline to get his stuff
That's
done.
what my mom said.
That was for Link's Awakening, though, not Wind Waker.
That's what my mom said.
He sat on the phone for hours, waiting for some guy named Jeff to tell him what to do.
I would love that job, dude. That'd be so cool. It's called YouTube now, but
yeah, it is.
YouTube's great.
And it's free.
Uh-huh.
It's not a 900 number.
That's what's so funny is like
100 numbers. That's right. I forgot about those.
Media in general, they dumb down their like entertainment for some reason when it's like, if you make it more complicated, you'll inflate your social media numbers by forcing people to go on the internet to understand. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's such a cool time to like watch lore videos and shit.
Do you guys remember those old call collect commercials? Call 1-800-CALLATT.
Yeah.
No.
I know you would.
I remember Call Collect, but I don't know if I ever saw any ads for it.
I would see them all the time. They usually came on at like the super like late hours. Like they were like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning ads, you know?
Those aren't the ads I remember from that time.
Oh, yeah. You were watching The Girls Gone Wild.
No, I just be watching, I don't know, like something.
Okay,
and all of a sudden
Neil. We
was
all
like,
watched The Girls Gone Wild ads at those times. Come on. Just
no,
it's fine.
Well, along those lines, but I do remember the like.
I do remember those.
Not the Girls on Wild ads, but the ones like the hotlines.
Oh, those still exist. I told you about that, right?
No.
Oh, didn't I tell you about this? All right. So when I was in Hawaii.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that now.
And it was like the weirdest thing because they came on at like 7 o'clock at night.
Yes.
I'm just sitting there with my wife and my mom, and we're watching some show. And then also it's like, "Are you lonely?" I'm like, "What? It's 7."
I remember my family was dying laughing when we went to like Utah, and they would play like the old Skinamax commercials on like Channel 4.
Hell yeah!
Just sign up for Skinamax. My dad was like, "I haven't seen that shit in years."
Because they're Mormons. That's why.
Yeah.
They're just finally getting around to Skinamax because all the liberals are moving in.
I was like, what's Skinamax? What the?
Listen, you don't understand unless you watch like the good old fuzzy channels with the porn playing in the background.
No, I know.
That's why HBO changing the name to Max didn't make any sense.
Fuck, that makes me so angry. HBO Max is fine. Like, even though it don't, like, I understand.
Doesn't everyone still just call it HBO Max? Because
Yes.
that's what it is.
I
just
still
call it
click on
HBO.
the. I still click on the stupid purple app on my PlayStation, and so does my wife. So annoying. They
So
can't
I
get
had
rid of
one
it.
back a little bit. Cash Catcher says original game packs. Yep, I still have stuff printed out. Then I go on there and I printed it out. I still have some of my like walkthroughs and guides and stuff.
I love those.
You really are a dad.
I would I didn't have a printer, so I would write it down word for word on like a composition book.
Yeah, like a real man.
Yes, real mans have a gaming notebook, bro.
Yeah.
I have mine right next to me. I showed it on stream earlier today.
Neo's got the
Monday.
got the dad vibes. You wear sandals and socks together, don't you?
No, I will never ever do that.
Don't lie. I can already feel it. I feel they're velcroing just like on you.
Straight to jail.
My
You need to
sandals
have
don't have Velcro. They're flip flops.
I don't believe you at all.
No.
You
need to have the real California
they're out by the front
answer.
door. They're not here.
I would say, I think Carl's just trying to get you to show feet.
Ooh,
You know
I'll
it.
do it for free. Get that Patreon going.
No, I would never wear sandals with socks. Ever.
Don't cage the puppies now.
You know who probably does? Paul, because he's a Pollock, and only Pollocks do that.
There's only one time you're allowed to wear socks with your slides.
Slides?
Slides.
That's the sandals that don't have straps that you slide on.
Like the Adidas ones.
We call
flops.
we call those flip flops.
Right, they're flip flops, but also they don't have the little toe thing.
You are an elderly man. That's what I'm learning.
Those are the Adidas and the Puma ones.
You're allowed to wear your slip socks. Your
slip socks.
Slip socks.
You're allowed to wear your socks with your slides when you're carrying your basketball shoes to the gym.
Okay, you're right.
A little different.
Correct. That's how the kids in the hood would do it. You're right.
So I've got one
If you
last
care about
thing
your
on the
shoes
Joe
that
Biden.
much, then why do you even wear them? Why not just keep them in the box?
No,
You don't wear them out more. That's why.
It's because they got
That way you're not walking on the asphalt with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
It's only on the court.
It's called shoe preservation.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. But at that point, just get like slip-on Vans or something. I'm not a flip-flop guy.
Or Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, get some Chucks and don't tie the top two laces. You know.
Yeah.
That's
Gotta act-
those are great.
Guy act like you're Larry Bird on the court there.
It makes more sense to do that, but not with basketball, but with soccer, because you can take your cleats off and you need to wear something.
You're actually not supposed to wear your cleats on the sidewalk on concrete.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's
It's
what I'm
actually
saying.
bad.
You take your cleats off, and that's when you put your sandals on, but you still got your soccer socks on.
Yeah.
That's just
That makes more sense than
That's the
basketball.
white version of what the black kids do. It's the same thing.
They don't have shoes. They play barefoot.
Oh shit! I knew that kid too, but he did it by choice. He said.
Yeah.
So I did have one last thing on the Hunter Biden stuff.
Okay.
And it was a gift given to me by the Twitter algorithm.
Ooh.
I had 2 of the exact same Hunter Biden reactions from 2 very different people. The first one, Charlemagne the Goat.
Oh, this cuck.
He's going through a bit of an identity crisis right now, man.
Good, he needs one.
Yeah.
He's brainwashed. So here, let's hear what he's
so
got.
really. It can go really, really good, or it can go really, really bad. I said this like 6 months ago, but it seems more like it's on the really bad. He's just spiraling out, dude.
I'll let this one go until the end, and I have words about Mr.
Yeah.
Charlemagne here.
If we need to pause it, just say so.
We'll see. We'll see how much he annoys me.
Was singled out because he broke the law. That's number one. He was singled out because he had an illegal gun and tax evasion charges, not because he was the president's son. And I honestly don't care. I just want Democrats to stop acting like they are on.
Hold on, real quick.
Jesus Christ.
This was the Biden DOJ that charged him with these crimes.
Mhm.
Let's not act like it was the other side trying to politically persecute him.
And don't forget that he was offered a sweetheart deal, and then the judge said no.
Yes.
Well, it's
Right.
clear that it was basically just a lot of bureaucracy was thrown at them, where it's like, look, we know we have to like charge this dude, but we have to wait until after he's elected and after toward, you know what I mean? That's where they're covering for him, is when they do it instead of doing it right away. Like justice should have been. The bureaucracy let Biden get away with, doing this shit because it exposes him for being impeachable.
I mean, they went after him just because I think we talked about it earlier, just as a shield to make it easier to go after Trump, and that's why like they also went after him for certain charges that even the right wingers, didn't want to like go full gung ho in on.
Mhm. Well, also you got to incriminate him before he squeals. You know what I mean? Another reason too.
He wasn't going to squeal, man. His dad is the president.
Oh man, I don't know.
What's up,
Pretty
Al?
50-50 on that.
Hey, Alf. Alf has a video coming out soon. His first video on his channel that he normally just streams on. And he's diving into Warhammer lore. And I am excited for that because I've been wanting to do the same. I just ain't got the time.
Yeah, I know. Also, those are videos, not live streams still.
Yeah, he's going to do videos to help his channel grow.
That's cool.
And he says it should be releasing tonight, which is perfect because that means I will have, because he told me it's like over an hour long, and I
there
need
you go.
something to watch first thing in the morning. So that works when I go to work. So let's see what he's got to say about this.
This moral high ground politically when they have shown us they're not. We don't care. I just want Democrats to stop acting like they are on this moral high ground politically when they have shown us they're not. Whether it's skipping the primary process when Biden stepped down and things like Biden pardoning his son. Stop acting like y'all the pure party and Republicans aren't. And it also shows me.
Shut up.
Stop acting like you have the moral high ground. He brings up the primaries. He brings up this pardon thing.
Shut up. Shut up. Just fucking shut up, Charlemagne.
Is he wrong?
Why?
This is the same guy that Biden said, if you don't know if you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. All right, just remember that.
He sat there and fucking took it.
He took it. And then there's also the guy who was also had his own show, had Kamala Harris on it. He asked who's really running the country, and then all our staffers fucking flailed in front of the camera and then said no. He got cucked twice by both members of this administration.
How has he not gone full Rogan?
Right? It's what I was saying.
Like, they're doing it to his fucking face.
They did it to his face twice, and he took it. Larry Elder even said, "What's wrong with you?"
Yep.
It's because an idiot's an idiot. That's why I don't care about like this whole thing. Oh, the Democrats, you stop being all high and mighty, as he talks like a fucking Mike Tyson wannabe too. No, he's just stupid. He's a useful idiot. That's it.
What's so funny is he had the same take as Dave Portnoy, but they're received very differently.
Exactly.
So that was exactly my whole point, because these two tweets were right next to each other.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I was like, well, I mean, the Twitter algo hits. The Twitter algo hits.
Damn, 3 minutes.
You know what? Dave Portnoy is an interesting individual.
He's very. I believe him. He's not full of shit. Like his dumb ideas are his.
He's funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
You're right. He's not full of shit. He's sick of the shit.
Yeah. And his goal is to be entertaining, and I respect him a lot more than Charlemagne. And I love Barstool. I'm a sports guy, dude. I don't like when politics got into my sports and I started hating Big Cat and all this shit. I want to go back to just enjoying your entertaining company.
Yes.
Yeah. Chicago guy, Big Cat.
Yeah, I like Big Cat, but he's an idiot. Oh, so is PFT. He's a fucking moron too.
Yeah. I it's like I said, it's just I want to go back to the days where we start to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like a lot of people just don't know how to have fun anymore. You know, it's like, do I want to listen to Outkick? I'm like, I listen to Outkick every now and then. I'm just like, this is fucking brain rot.
Yeah, I can only take so much of the Outkick as well. And I only like what's his face, Travis.
Play Travis.
Yeah. The bald guy, I can't listen to him at all.
Oh, Dan Dockich.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's like old school boomer right there.
He's so fucking boring.
He's from the Gary, Indiana area, so that's like right by like Chicago.
Okay.
So like I know plenty of Dan Dockich type people.
All right. So let's hear what Dave's got to say. Maybe.
Okay, I thought I was done with political rants, but I guess I got one more. This Hunter Biden thing, it's in the news. Everyone's talking about it. Joe Biden and the Democrats, after probably saying no less than 9,482 times unequivocally that Joe Biden would not pardon Hunter Biden if Trump was elected.
The president would not pardon or commute.
Did he have to splice this in there?
Oh my God.
No one wants to see that face. God damn it.
Nasty.
That was almost a jump scare.
It is, man.
I just don't understand this lady.
Dude, everyone jokes that she's because it's true that she's a DEI hire. Jen Psaki was not a DEI hire. She was fantastic at her job. Jen Psaki should work for Ubisoft and just cover for all the heinous shit they've done. No, she should work for Blizzard. Like, oh, Blizzard, your CEOs are taking breast milk from their employees, and she's like, we'll back on that. No, we don't have to talk about.
Yeah, I was saying she's good at her job because she didn't answer any questions.
She's evil, but she's very good at it. She's a crow.
All right, let's get to
I hate Jen Psaki
for excusing evil.
And how can you take MSNBC seriously? They hired her.
Yeah, I know.
How could they it would be like if like post World War II, like the Allies hired fucking Goebbels to go fucking work for them.
She's too good for CNN. That's all I have to say. She wouldn't step up.
But she went to the
I think
the place
MSNBC's the one that's more broke.
I don't know, dude. I think more people watch. I don't know anymore.
No, she went to the place that has more ex-Obama staffers.
Oh, oof.
For his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he will not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
He'd have to go through the jury system. Nobody's above the law, blah, blah, blah. What's he do? Of course he pardons him. Of course he does. Not only that, it's like for 11 years. So anything he could have possibly done in the history of time, he is pardoned for. Now, I'll start by saying if I could do that for a loved one, a family member, I would probably do the same thing. I wouldn't lie about it. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to protect my own. No shit.
I think this is a horseshit position to
I
have.
totally agree. Absolutely.
And it's because, like I said earlier, 99.9999999% of the world will never have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horseshit take to have.
But what about the 0.1%?
Fuck them.
The 1%.
The special.
They're
1%.
literally the president of the United States. I don't feel sorry for them.
No, I don't.
Why should you?
Should not.
Curious, could the next person come along and unpardon
No.
them?
No.
I didn't think so.
I like your attitude.
I think because when like Obama like pardons Bush, it's like that little chain of like presidents just pardoning each other, and you can never prosecute them because they carry on their fucking deep state shit.
Did
So, no,
Obama
you
pardon
can't-
Bush? I only thought that only happened one time in history.
I thought he did.
I don't remember any of that. The only president I could think that actually pardoned president was Gerald Ford for Nixon.
Yeah.
They always do that. I swear they always did that.
Oh, that's news to me.
Well, I mean, so the reason why they don't really have to do that is because we have that presidential immunity stuff that was discussed heavily. What? 9 months ago.
That's true too.
I just think they never went after it because it was like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're basically the same people anyway.
True.
That's an interesting topic for another time that we did not cover, because the idea that you could literally just kill people and casualties of war is not considered a crime because you were doing something presidential is weird.
Nothing's more American than blowing people up, right?
America.
Fuck yeah. Disappointed in you two.
Huh?
I'm disappointed in these other two. They didn't join in.
I did.
Yeah, I heard Shock.
I didn't hear him.
Oh, I did. Fuck yeah.
I'm disappointed in Neo then.
Shame, Neo.
Sorry, I didn't come off of mute fast enough.
Dude, I was the little French kid that's singing the Jose Santa, whatever that song is. That kid voiced Finn from Adventure Time. That was him when he was like 6. That was his first voice acting gig.
Crazy.
I was like, oh my god, this kid's a legacy actor. They made his career. That's amazing.
That's wild.
I never watched Adventure Time.
Well, good news.
Me neither.
It became trash after a while, so you didn't miss out much.
Yeah, first season was cool, and then it got weird.
It got weird when they introduced Flame Princess. That's when it started to go downhill.
Yeah, they always have to bring dating and shit to like cool kid shows, and it ruins it. It's like, dude.
You know what show is great that it didn't get ruined? Regular Show.
Regular Show's great too.
Regular Show is amazing.
Yeah.
I think you guys would understand the references more because you're boomers.
Yeah, no, I don't know what Regular Show is, but
never.
I always felt like the fans of Adventure Time were highly suspect.
They were autistic. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about these people. Like, you'd see them at the cons. I was like, I don't know about these people.
It's because the shippers have weird ships, like food princesses and jelly.
We don't talk about the shippers. They're not real people.
Oh yeah.
All right. If you want to talk about shippers, we'll talk about the Dragon Age community because I will show you some fucked up shit.
Oh my god, I know.
And this was before Veilguard, right?
They need Veilguard for that, did they?
No, it was horrible. Like absolutely horrible. Like these women were all like 50-year-old like cat ladies who would join ISIS because they wanted to be loved by anyone. That's the type of people that were in that community.
The fans got weird with Inquisition, and it made me not want to play it way back in the
There
day.
are a lot of 50-year-olds playing Inquisition.
There was in the groups I apparently was in. I was like shocked.
The frumpy lesbians, absolutely.
Carl,
they
are you
love the
secretly
schmutt.
a 50-year-old woman?
I fucking felt like it. I was like, man, I'm in a group full of frumps. That's for sure. This is a menopause thing. I can't relate to any of you.
Oh, it's so bad.
Like, I'm dead serious. Like, you remember when like all those women would go to like join ISIS because they found like a guy online and they were like lonely and sad and they just went with anyone that would just give them any attention?
I vaguely remember things about
that. That's basically the Dragon Age shipping community. It's all those women.
So the cat ladies.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're proto cat ladies, all right? Because they were still able to find love. It would just happen to be with terrorists, okay?
I have one of those in my family, except she's gotten extremely bitter. So
I wonder why.
An ISIS lady or a cat lady? Which one are we talking?
Technically a miniature pincher lady. She's got like 7 of them.
Oh, I could like that. Miniature pictures are cool.
No.
What? How could you hate?
She takes them in a stroller.
Okay, that's weird.
No.
Have you considered her getting her like one of those like real baby dolls so she kind of could get over some trauma?
Yeah, there you go.
She never
Or
moved
she-
out of her parents' house.
Oh no.
Like 50 something.
The type to date a convict and shit.
I feel like that's the ultimate sign of like you failed at life if you're 50 and still living with your family.
Yep.
And she works in the state courts here. It's terrible.
You know what? It's just another reason to disband the government. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
All losers work for the government, man. I swear.
Technically, my wife works for the government, but that's because she works with special needs people.
Say we know other people
That's
that work
cool.
for the government
Yeah.
outside of the military.
Oh yeah.
Kel works for the government.
He works in shorts and he looks good in it. It's different.
So is he a mailman?
Yeah. His job's to look good in shorts.
I remember my father-in-law is a mailman. And I remember the first time I ever saw him in his like shorty shorts, as I call him. And I was like, what the hell is this? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, why are you wearing shorts like that short? You look like the dude from like Reno 911.
What are you, a
When he
1970s
when he
NBA
answered
player?
you, the wind flew his satchel, and he's like, "I'm wearing my postal uniform."
Yeah, he's like, I'm wearing my uniform. I'm like, you look gay as shit.
Delivering.
Were you one of
mail.
those like gay strippers that were dropping off the package to the wrong house?
Do they not have pants? I feel like they should have a pants.
No, they
option.
wear shorts, bro.
They have pants, obviously. Well, here in Illinois they have pants.
Nut huggers.
But he like I was like these don't feel like government regulation shorts, all right?
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
not
I-
a real UPS man.
Like they almost look like hot pants, like the dude from Reno 911, that one
Yeah, I
gay
was just
cop.
thinking that.
I was like,
I've
they were
been
almost that short.
murdered. No, you're not murdered.
Okay, so the guy who delivers my mail shows up in a station wagon with a Ronald Reagan sticker on it, wearing street clothes.
That's
Hell yeah.
Yeah. California, you don't have to wear the uniform if you don't want to.
Fuck the system. That's what I agree.
Well, he's in Arizona.
Still based. Like I said, Arizona's a really good example of a purple state that makes no fucking sense.
No,
it doesn't. It confuses me when people talk about it.
Yeah. Like Arizona and Wisconsin are basically like the two states in this union that just don't make sense to me at all.
No, me neither.
I don't think that would work.
It should be like depends on the school you went to, but it's like your shorts must go an inch past your fingertips.
Yeah, your
hands at
fingertips,
your
yeah.
side.
Oh my.
Oh,
You have a rural carrier then?
rural carrier.
Oh, so he does actually work for the post office, huh?
Oh yeah.
I live on the edge of town. Like the city is growing to me. I hate it. I realized a couple weeks ago that they're building too many apartment complexes around me, and it might be time to go soon.
Yeah. The unstoppable tide of Islam is approaching you. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's still a bunch of white people. Like,
That wasn't a direct comparison. I was just making a joke, but
they're all the new families are moving in and the old people are moving out. Suburbia.
Suburbia.
But I thought old people moved to Arizona to retire. So it seems like they're being
No, the
gentrified. Is
old
that what you're
people
saying?
come to Arizona during the winter to get away from their miserable winters across this country for everywhere else where it like snows and shit.
I agree. It sucks here.
And they're only here for like 2, maybe 3 months. All
That's
right.
the point.
Fuck Dave Portnoy. He does the same thing as Charlemagne, saying how they're they no longer get to claim that they have the moral high ground, which is something that they have been brainwashing people with for 12 years.
So I have a fun observation about that. I don't know if you guys heard or played this game, but it's called Metaphor Refantasio. Have you heard about this game?
I have heard of it.
No.
I have not played it.
No, Carl, I've never heard of this game.
You don't count, Neo. But like a lot of things I see with like people making takes about it because it talks about a lot of moral issues and stuff
Quandary?
like that. Yeah, quandary. And one thing I always notice is like when people go like, "Oh, it's a woke game," it's people who conflate being like moral and having like character as being like political. You know what I mean?
Oh Jesus.
That's like one of the biggest problems that left people have is, well, there's two things. Like Kamala Harris, I think, according to some polls, won like 70% of the atheist vote, and a lot of like these liberals kind of like conflate like being political as being moral. So like if you aren't giving people like all this money and just letting them go do whatever they want, and are not forcing like political ideology on them, they consider that being like moral and just.
Well, that's like the fucker that called me a white supremacist for saying I don't believe in taxes because I don't believe in taxes because I don't want the poor brown people to get my money.
That's the problem though. It's they think being moral should be government regulated.
Yep, exactly.
And that's like that's messed up. That's like the state. That's like what the Nazis did. That's what the communists did.
Literally religion on just the government. Just take out the church. Just the government.
Yeah.
It's not a church-ran government, but
especially when their morals, air quotes, is so questionable.
Yeah, well, the commies were atheists, and the Nazis wanted to destroy, Christianity and replace it with Nazism as like a religion.
Well, they always have those videos of them on the streets talking to like college kids on their campuses, and they're like, "Hey, like, do you want to give up your spot in line for your semester to an unprivileged black kid?" And they go, no, I can't.
I don't want to give money or anything else like that. No,
I'm still like a quarter like Swedish or something. Like I'm also kind of marginalized myself. I need this.
Well,
I need it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
The biggest scam they've ever sold, probably our generation of millennials, is that people need to pay their fair share.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the biggest scam that they've ever sold, because what the hell does that even mean? What is a fair share?
Libertarians, it means like take care of yourself. Like learn to take responsibility and kind of carry your own weight. Don't be a burden.
But
ask that to a liberal. What does that mean to a liberal?
Yeah,
they've manipulated it to, well, if you make more, that means you need to pay more.
But why?
But they don't understand that 10% of 100,000 is way more than 10% of 1,000.
Dude, look what FEMA doesn't do shit for these like hurricanes and national disasters. Whenever the South floods, it's always a fucking football player that comes in and like helps relieve the victims. It's never actually the government.
Well, let's just look at what they. Well, I guess it's just because I'm from the Chicagoland area, so the teachers' unions over here piss me off even more. It's just like, look at cities and how much they mismanage money and how much they dump into their school systems, and how like they always manipulate the stats to go like, well, we're doing so much better than Alabama. And it's just like, it's just like, you guys are like, literally are not. All right. Yeah. You just found a way to doll it up because you have enough NIMBYs that send their kids to private schools that you can flux the numbers,
Yep. That's wild.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. And I just hate these stupid arguments. It's like they really despise you if you work like a manual labor job. They really despise you if you are a person who wants to grow your own food. They really despise you if you even question something that sounds retarded. All right.
Questions.
It's like somebody's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna chop off my dick and make myself feel better. I'm like, doesn't that sound a little weird? How dare you?
Well, it's just like, can't you just like take hormones and be gay? Why do you have to do permanent shit to yourself?
But even then it's like they don't stick with their logic because it's all over the place. First, they tell you that there's no biological difference. Then they tell you, well, it's all social construct. Well, you don't need to do this, but it's also gender-saving care and all that stuff. And that's just like one topic point.
They constantly contradict themselves.
Yep.
And that carries over to like everything else that like a liberal throws out there. Because like if you go with like the stereotypical version of like a conservative, and there's just like the Christian conservative, it's like the easiest answer for them is they just believe in God. They have faith. All right. That's at the end of the day. That's all it is. It's like faith.
They have a literal rule book.
Yes. Do they follow it all the time? Of course not.
No, because no one's perfect.
Exactly. But it's just like you don't know what your own arguments are, and that's why I left being a Democrat. Right? It's just like this is insane, you know?
Well, I mean, a perfect example of the contradiction is that twat waffle David Jaffe.
Oh yeah.
David Jaffe, the guy who's been a joke since 2019. But
Yeah. But recently he came after Vera Dark, who I am not like a huge fan of. I don't really care.
I watch her videos. She's cool.
But but he's like, you're here because of your face and your hair.
she's not even like that good looking.
No,
she's like a 7 on a good day.
Yeah, she's like an Idaho 7.
That's being generous.
An Idaho 7.
But
Yeah, she's not bad.
he's out there saying that she only has an audience because she's an attractive woman, is what he was implying.
Yes.
That's
how the fucking
not,
internet
and that's
works,
not
for
supposed to
one.
be seen as misogynist, according to him.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
David Jaffe's a racist. All right, let's just be honest here. He has so many issues with like any black woman that like has issues. I'm pretty sure that he like the reason why his daughter wants to be a son is also because he really just does not like women.
It's because he doesn't like himself.
Oh,
he doesn't like himself.
Dave Jaffe is what I like to call a has-been who's really trying to get back into good graces with people. Congratulations, you made Twisted Metal and God of War.
You think he's grifting?
100%.
And I say that using the true definition of the word, meaning he's saying things that he doesn't actually believe.
No, I think he does believe him. I would, because if you look at his home life, it makes sense. But I just think he's also just a has-been who wants attention.
I agree. He is. I don't. Can you call him a has-been? Didn't he do the most recent God of War 2?
No.
No.
He's been gone even before God of War 3.
Well, that's why.
I thought he had part to do with the most recent.
No.
Not the most, but the most recent. Not the most recent one. The
God of War
second
Ragnarok.
most recent one.
No.
And the beginning of his downfall was clearly when they were going to do the Amazon show. They weren't going to start with his work. They were going to start with the Greek, with the
Norse mythology.
The Norse mythology first.
Yeah.
And so that's when he started spiraling, because it's like he's not as
started spiraling way before that. He's been like this for like 5 years, man.
He's been an attention whore for a little while.
He's been going into getting internet fights and everything else. He's just another.
He's a
washed up
contrarian,
has-been.
because he feels like he has.
He's the other side of the coin of Grumps.
Yeah, basically, you're not wrong about that. I can 100% agree with that. But at least he had the decency not to make another game after it failed.
He's just tweeting from bed at this point. Like, it's so lazy.
But like he does a show. I got annoyed with him because he's also really good friends with Colin Moriarty, and that's another reason why I stopped listening to Colin, because I'm just like I can't listen to fucking more Dave Jaffe nonsense. Like, he'll go on and talk to these people, but he's just, like I said, he's the guy who like did some. He reminds me of. He's like the high school quarterback who failed at life, but he still wears his varsity jacket everywhere he goes. That's who Dave Jaffe is. It's like, yeah, you did a lot of great things. Don't get me wrong. You made Twisted Metal. You made God of War, 2 very iconic franchises in PlayStation history. You get your roses for that. You help play a part of it, but your time is well over, dude.
And it's just attention that he likes, unlike I think like the Obsidian writer who's been shitting on the Fallout show, and even the Fallout creator himself, who's been kind of like bending the knee and allowing lore to be bent so that he can have access. So he's kind of very 50-50 too.
I don't even know about that lore bending stuff because I hear so many contradicting points about it from people. Like, a lot of it feels like it's just New Vegas fans that are very upset. And then I guess recently, they just talked about the main actress. She was told to go play New Vegas.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. I think it's just like nerds need to fucking chill out and relax kind of deal for me.
Well,
It's
the
a TV
OG
show.
fans of Fallout like stopped paying attention to the games, and then the ones who do like New Vegas only kind of like New Vegas, and they don't know much about the old ones, even though New Vegas was more accurate to what happened in the first game than what's his name, Todd Howard's, which takes place on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
What happened was it's clear that he has his Fallout universe on the East Coast, and then he let the show be in the West Coast so that they can play with that side of the lore and not have his side of the lore interrupted.
Like at the same time, who knows? You know, it's just like I watch the Fallout TV show. It's fun. I play the Fallout games. They're fun. I don't need to like have like a purity test all the time for stuff because then I'm like, it's getting just weird. You know, not everything has to be like Bible accurate. You know what I mean?
But it's stupid though. Like they just whatever. I'll talk about it. But
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I don't need to fucking save $1 billion company. Are they making something nice? Then I'll go enjoy it. If they're making something trash, I don't care anymore. We're all at this point where we're all like in our 30s or approaching our 30s. I don't know how old you are, Shock. I know you're a little younger than us.
I'm closer to 30. But
yeah, at this point, it's like I can't just keep going out there and getting upset because Star Wars fucking sucks, or the show writer made a contradicting lore to this very specific plot point of a side mission of the Fallout video game that no one really can remember, right? Like at this point, if it just sucks, try something new.
I agree with you. But I'm going to push back a little bit. I think the biggest thing that happens is when the characters are not the characters.
Yeah. And I think we have like younger people in our lives and we have kids coming soon. And I watch kid shows and they're nowhere as good, entertaining, or have values like the kid stuff that I watched.
Well, that's different though. That's writers.
That is different.
I mean, I've had this issue with our friend Fractured, where he kind of gets like a little, sad when it comes to Marvel and DC. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, if we're gonna fucking stick to lore, why isn't Thanos flying around in a helicopter? And where's my Spider-Man Dune buggy? You know what I mean?
Yes.
All right. It like there comes a point in time where I stay by this very on like point thing. It's okay for shit to die. Like
I agree.
An ending should happen after a certain point in time.
That's my complaint, is that things don't end though. But my point is I think the Fallout creators are more genuine versus Jaffrey is just someone who is coping with the fact that he has this imposter syndrome and he hates both sides and he's contrarian and he's just very addicted.
I don't think he hates both sides. He's clearly one-sided.
Well, hold on. We see it with Charlemagne. We see it with a lot of these people saying like, well, look, I'm a Democrat, but the Democrats are taking things too far. And it's like, we understand that you sucked their dick for the last 4 years and you want to, air quote, pave a new progressive like Democrat where you agree with just one or two things, but you still want the same doomsday shit. That is what I'm tired of. I'm tired of my version of I may have sucked Joe Biden's dick, but I didn't like the one thing that he did, but you still support all the other garbage and nonsense.
Exactly.
I know. I'm not allowing you to just take the high road on this.
You called me a Nazi for like damn near 12 years. Do you think I honestly care now suddenly that you saw the light? It's like, no. You have to actually come out and show me that you really do not think that I want to throw Jews in a camp. Okay? Like just knock it off.
And so that's why when you have Joffrey talk, he keeps contradicting himself because he keeps thinking that he's subjective and he's calling out both sides. But he's not. He's just contradicting himself.
No, he is so far up his own ass.
Yeah, his own ass. He's not even on a side. He just thinks he thinks he's objective because he air quote hates both sides. But he's just salty because he backed the bitch named Biden who fucking failed. But you still want the same shit that he promised you, and you would vote for him again.
Yeah, because these people are has-beens. Why do you think all these people kept like trotting out all these celebrities that don't matter on the like left-wing side? Because they are all has-been actors.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness, we got Eminem. I'm like, oh shit, he hasn't been relevant in like 10 years.
Or they're not even has-beens. They're just fucking propped up by the system, like Cardi B. Cardi B is fucking disgusting and no one likes her, but she's boosted by the system.
Yeah, because she also was interviewing Bernie Sanders and everyone else too.
She was liked because she was married to the Migos guy, and they were a pretty popular group. And so there's a lot of just networking. They rely on networking, but like when the actual like likable, talentable dudes die because they're fucking air quote gangsters and shit, then when you're on your own, you just get pointed out for being unlikable and untalented. And the industry is also taking a shit.
Because the Democrats are just a bunch of out of touch boomers.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how they can relate to the hello fellow kids, you know?
Hello. It's been pointed out to me because it is two things. Usually the people who come out and back up these political parties are broke as fuck and they need money. And then it's just like, well, Eminem's not broke. Oprah's not broke.
Oprah's definitely not broke.
I'm like, you know what? That is true. They're either broke or so fucking evil they want even more money. So
Eminem's not broke because he owns all his fucking music.
yeah, that's right. I was like, dang, it's both. They're either broke and they're doing it because they need money, or holy shit, it's not enough money and they're doing all this bending over backwards just to get even more shit. I'm like, I don't know.
I also feel like it's them trying to like make up for their past sins too. Like with Eminem, it's like I don't believe you, man.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, I fully expect nothing to come out of any of that.
No,
it'd be great if it does, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they keep talking about they're gonna release the Epstein list. We'll see.
If it happens, it'll be great. I'll be like, I get to find out who are all the pedophiles by name.
What's that new Democrat social media called again? Sky,
Blue
whatever.
Sky. Blue Sky. They're all gonna go to Blue Sky because they're not gonna be fucking able to have a moment of peace on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll all go to Blue Sky and we'll fight the war.
I want to go to Blue. I've always wanted to go to these places and just fuck with people. I just haven't had the time to.
I hear you get banned pretty quickly.
Nice.
Good. We're gonna go fire up the sock puppet accounts, boys.
Yeah.
We're not here to help. We're here to laugh.
The destruction team.
Well, gentlemen, it's been 3 hours. Let's call this one. Let's put a lid on it.
Sweet.
Shaka Zulu, thank
Hello.
you for joining us. Even if you were 2 hours and 15 minutes late or something like that.
Yeah, that was lame.
Let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on.
I just been streaming a lot lately, which has been a lot of fun. Shaka Zulu 1 for YouTube and wait, I always get it mixed up. It's Shaka Zulu 12 YouTube, Shaka Zulu 1 Kick. I've been streaming The Witcher, and I'll probably be streaming Dragon Age soon because GOG officially fixed the game.
There you go.
Their latest patch in November lets me finish my playthrough with all my mods. So that's awesome. So maybe I'll make a video to help people get back into it because, man, Dragon Age Origins is so much fun.
Origins. Okay, I was curious which one you were referring to.
Yeah, I might play through them all and then maybe dive into a bit on Veilguard's story and see how they ruined it or if they did. Because there's just so much that they introduced in those games and it doesn't look like they get a fucking lick of a mention in Veilguard, and it's just like, how? Anyway, I'm streaming. I'm having fun. It's the end of the year. So good show, everyone. Awesome doing the show with you, Carl. And good night, everybody.
Have a great one.
Later, Shaq.
And Mr. Carl of RNG, what you got going on?
I don't know what I got going on. Basically, if anyone wants to play some co-op games or something, I started streaming Pokemon Emerald tonight, just on a whim. And that's basically what I might play later this week, or trying to figure out some stuff. I want to do co-op games and just hang out with people. So anyone just wants to hit me up or something, doesn't have to be for streaming either. I'm would like to play anything. I got so many games and just want to do that.
I started playing Dark Tide. I want to play that more.
Yeah, well, just hit me up, Shock. You know,
You got Dark Tide?
I might. I don't know. I have so many games, I forget what I own. That's the bad part about it.
Too many.
And besides that, you know, I'm just doing 3 podcasts for the end of December. A post-mortem of the Game Awards with some people. Not to go over and be like, oh my God, it's so cringe and woke. I'm just like, no, just have an honest conversation about what was at the awards, who won, and categories like that. And then obviously the 2024 retrospective show of just me and a couple friends going over our game of the years and just what we liked about this year in gaming and talk about that. And then, of course, a top 5 show at the very end of the year for most anticipated games for 2025. Guests and all that will be finalized. First show will be next week on the 14th. And then the final 2 shows of the year for the podcast, at least, will be on the 20th and the 21st. And then after that, those next 2 weeks, I will not be doing anything because it's Christmas and New Year's. And I hope everyone has a wonderfully amazing holidays around those times as well.
Sounds good. I'm off those 2 weeks as well. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do myself. But anyhow, Mr. Nerdy Neo, what you got going on?
So I'm taking most of December off. So I've got a few streams this week, and then I'm not really doing anything for the rest of the month, stream-wise. But to kind of finish off the year, tomorrow night, we've got the last episode of Top 5 for the year, and we are ranking our top 5 PS1 games because tomorrow, December 3rd, is the exact 30th anniversary of the release of the PS1. So it was very fortuitous that it fell on a day we were going to do Top 5 anyways.
Yeah,
that's
pretty cool.
Awesome. Who's going to be on, Neil? Why don't you tell us who else is going to be on?
Yeah, so obviously my co-host of Top 5, Jason's going to be on, and then our guests are my achievement hunting buddy, Dude1286, and Melee James.
Nice.
Very fun.
And then Wednesday, Wednesday and the following Wednesday, I will be continuing Dude Souls, but that's probably it for the rest of the year, the 4th and the 11th. And then I have one more episode of Achievement Chasers with Dude1286, but we have to figure out what day that's going to be. It'll probably be next week.
Yeah, I got the achievement bug from you a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice. I saw you making achievement posts this weekend as well.
Those are automated. I've got my True Achievement linked to my Twitter, so whenever I do, hit milestones and stuff, it automatically tweets it.
I was wondering about that. So now I know.
I always see Neo. I always see your achievement post, but I saw Carl. I want to say I saw an achievement post from Carl, maybe yesterday.
Yeah, a couple because I got all the achievements for Far Cry Primal, and I already had the platinum trophy.
That's right.
So I kind of did the double thing, and I finally got that last achievement for Skyrim because it's been bothering the hell out of me, and I finally just put on a podcast and everything because I was up till 4 a.m.
Oh, so you finally got that legendary dragon?
Yeah, I think it was like because our friend Mr. Angry Canadian lives in Japan, so sometimes he's off, and I was talking to him, and it's like, oh, it's 4 a.m. my time. I should probably go to sleep. And then I woke up and I was like, I have no motivation to do anything. So I'm like, podcast. Let's try to get this dragon. Damn it.
Nice.
Yeah. Plus the Bears are done, and I was like, I have no will to live.
Fucking hate the Bears. I don't know why the Bears are the most like OP NPCs in Skyrim. Fucking can't kill the Bears.
I was talking about the actual football team.
Oh, the Bears.
The
Bears, man.
Bears.
I feel so bad for you, bro.
Well, my family is season ticket holders, so it kind of is natural.
Why didn't they just run the ball and kick a field goal, bro?
We don't talk about this anymore. We had a whole Thanksgiving going like, what the fuck was going on? All right?
No.
You think it's bad? Just be at a house full of Bears season ticket holders and lifelong Bears fans. Just going like, what was that? What are you doing? Why aren't you taking a timeout?
Oh, gosh. You know what? Props to the Bears for having a fun game on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was fun.
A fun game.
No, I'm so mad. I've been to 2 really bad Bears games in these last 2 years. I was at the Broncos one where the Broncos came back to score 30 to win unanswered. I was at that one.
Jeez.
And then I was at that Patriots game, the one where they fired the OC right after.
Oh yeah, damn!
Oh, I hated it so much.
What eventful!
Oh,
Eventful games you went to.
If you ever want to watch sports with me, you will have the blast because I am fun.
Dude, heck yeah, we should do sports stuff. We've been wanting to stream games together. I don't know why we never thought about that until.
I always love talking sports.
Heck yeah, we love sports too.
Neo knows. He's like, Neo gets so upset. I know. He just
I don't
like,
get upset.
He's like, you're talking sports.
Sports ball, dude. Sports geeks are a real thing. All right, I'm tired of them not being a thing.
Have you heard of a guy named Urinating Tree?
No.
Yes.
Oh, you should watch his videos. They're fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, Cowboys. That's the first thing that comes up.
I just want to say
I
that
get it.
somehow my team managed to score 183 points this week.
Barn burner.
Oh yeah, you should join our fantasy league next year.
I asked, yeah, because I was joking with Static. I was like, every time I win the Super Bowl in my fantasy leagues, they go up in flames the next year.
Oh yeah,
and
Dynasty
it happened
or-
again.
Dynasty or just redraft?
Just redraft. So I was like, I did a couple with my friends, and after I won the championship, they went over. Then there was 2 family ones. After I won the championship, they went under.
Nice.
And then this one was like the longest one I've been in. It was my stepbrother's bar league with all his bar friends.
Nice.
And last year I went 0-5 to come back to win the championship.
Hell yeah.
And then this year they're like, no, we're not doing it again. I'm like, really? I can't even brag.
Wow. I'm waiting. Gosh, dude, my team's so underwhelming. I'm so mad.
I've had a few of those seasons.
You had a chance.
I know, dude. I took Justin Jefferson over Chase, and so then Static got Chase, and then he took Barkley, and then I had to take Hall, and he got the better end of both fucking picks. I'm like, dude, I wanted Barkley, and I was pissed I didn't get him. And then I took Justin Jefferson over Chase. I'm like, shit.
Well, I would have taken Jefferson.
Good.
I would have
I
taken
know you
Jefferson
would have
before Chase too.
God, so bad. But next year is going to be fun because we have 2 first timers playing that just totally fuck their drafts, and and so every time there's a newbie that fucks the draft, they usually make it to the championships their second year.
That's
because they learn the hard way how to play.
Oh yeah. Well, if the offer still stands and we get to August next year, yeah, I'm totally in.
I'll hit you up.
Awesome.
I think Dermy will still fuck his draft next season.
He drafted fucking kicker in the 4th round because his name
Why?
was gay.
Because his name was gay.
His name was gay.
Well,
at least
know
he
what?
didn't draft 3 tight ends in the first 6 rounds like Gal did.
Yeah. There's that too.
Oh, it was bad. I was freaking out. Because she's like, I have a spreadsheet. And I'm like, oh,
what's
okay,
your
cool.
spreadsheet? Just tight end? Is that your plan?
It was the year 2020 or 2018 draft order, and you just got all the old ass tight ends.
It's like I had a guy who drafted in our league drafted LaDainian Tomlinson 3 years after he retired.
Oh no!
And it was like, wait, no, he's retired. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, he's retired. He's been retired for 3 years. Where have you been?
Fucking A, dumbass.
Not only did she pick Kelsey with her first pick, she picked a kicker with her 3rd pick.
What? Who are you playing with?
This is Gal, green-haired anti-liberal.
I kept telling her, first 4 rounds, stay to the top of the list, and you will be okay. I kept saying that over and over again. First 4 rounds, stay to the top. Then you can wander off if you like. But no, they didn't fucking listen.
Oh, geez. I guess that would make sense if your kickers are scoring 30 points for a 60-yard field goal or something. But
I hate kickers, bro.
I hate kickers too, man.
I just do the Asians. They always Kimi Fairbairn's a stud, and no one ever drafts him.
Younghoe Koo is the stud.
I love Younghoe Koo, man. He's so good.
Yeah. Did you hear that his car got stolen with all his equipment in it?
With all his women in it?
Racism.
Equipment.
Oh.
They took his
Same
Korean bitches.
Anyhow, let's wrap this bitch up. We can talk sports afterwards. Let's see. What do we got? I've got the weekend pregame this Thursday. I have no idea what we're talking about, but I did find some cringe over the weekend that I'll be bringing some shit just to make everyone's skin crawl.
Oh boy.
And gonna be playing Path of Exiles 2 this weekend.
Oh yeah. Can't wait.
So keep an eye out for that.
Let me know how that is. I'm interested.
I will do so. And I'm gonna play out the intro video for the outro. So until next time, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
¿Qué pues, pinche gringo mamón? Si tengo mi green card.
Thanks for your collaboration. And remember, don't come back again.
Y el gringo nos quiere cobrar el muro. Dile que no, pinche gringo racista. Pues no te pagaremos nada.
Wait a minute, please.